All right, everybody, I got my things ready to go, and we are going to get started to this. This is the first time I've been streaming the Age Mythology Summer Tournament. It kind of just sprang upon us, and now here we are with the round of 32, Dod Joe versus Pegasus. And you might be wondering, why in the world are Dod Joe and Pegasus playing the round of 32? Because they're both really good players. Well, it's because Pegasus signed up late, and he replaced somebody that didn't play, so he gets to play against Dod Joe in round 1. So we will get into my little overlay to kind of introduce this tournament. I'll pull up. I don't have brackets because they'll be full of spoilers, so I'm gonna have to find like a non-spoiler bracket to show you guys eventually. We might do that the next stream that I do for this. So what's up? So this is the Age Mythology 1v1 Summer Tournament, and each series is a best of 5. It might be different in the finals, something. Who knows? Nobody really knows for sure. Now, there's a few different rules about this tournament that I'm kind of excited about. The big one is that players cannot repeat a god choice. So once you've chosen, say, Isis in the best of 5, you can't choose Isis again the whole series. So that'll be pretty cool, because especially if game series start going to game 4, game 5, these players are really going to have to dip deep down into their pool of gods, I guess you could say. And who knows, maybe game 5 might be like their 5th best gods, and that's the decider map. And that, that'd be just kind of cool. We'll be seeing different matchups than like normal when we the last tournament, where it was just you pick your best civ every time, and then we get Zeus versus Set 7 games in a row, something like that. And then the other thing is that each player picks 2 maps. So, and unfortunately I don't know what the order is for this series. We'll just have to guess. But the 2 maps can be any map like within the game, basically. So not even the standard like 11. So we could possibly see some kind of unusual maps. But it's already 10:37 p.m. So it's getting late. So we are going to just get into game 1. Dod Joe versus Pegasus. And I do think I've fixed my YouTube, so it does look like I'm yep, looks like I am fixed my YouTube, so it's streaming live to YouTube as well. So let's see, we need to, oh yeah, we got this right. Go to here. Okay, all right, here we go. We are, I think, ready. What's up, Ozone? Ozone's unhappy because he wanted me to stream some RTS League games, but we'll get those tomorrow. He'll just have to wait. I needed a break from RTS League. We've been doing a lot of them. So we are going to move into, or start, I guess, with game number 1. Why would you not start with game number 1? And so, just real quick, Pegasus, for some reason, is playing under an I Am Housed name. That's Pegasus, so I will refer to him as Pegasus for the entirety of this series. So on our bottom is Dod Joe, and on the top is Pegasus. Now in our first map, we're Isis versus Zeus. So our Isis player is Joe, that's his main god, and Pegasus is Zeus, and that's also his main god. So both players, because again they can only choose each god once, they're getting their main gods out of the way in the very first match. And Zeus versus Isis on Anatolia. Yeah, Omega Blast, but we'll call him Pegasus, Omega Blast, Pegasus, whatever you want to call him. He changes names every other month. Which is kind of dumb, but I guess he has a midlife crisis every 2 months. When you're coming to Anatolia, and it's Isis versus Zeus, it's a pretty nice, fair map. I feel like it's really one of those matchups and maps where it's kind of maybe slightly in Isis's favor, especially because there's 2 base gold mines. Sometimes there's, well, no, maybe Anatolia always has 2. AOT Game Knowledge 101. So maybe slightly in the Isis favor, but not much. Like I'd say maybe like a 55-45, maybe 60-40 tops, but 55-45. And when you consider all the different maps and matchups, that's about one of the closest game maps that you could consider. Um, Now they both got two gold mines, Ozone. Pegasus is maybe, at least this one is slightly closer, but it is blocked off by this forest here. Hey, what's up, Zebchi? On the other hand, Joe's front gold mine is blocked off by this cliff, but he does have this one to the side, which isn't very, so I don't know. I think they're about the same. I'm pretty good, man. I'm doing a first stream for the new Age of Mythology Summer Tournament, which just started last week, and this is my first. Well, I won't stream all the games because there's way too many, but this is the first one I'm doing, and we are in game one, so you showed up in time. But Zeus v Isis, there's kind of a variety of different things the Isis could do here. You could almost just do a straight up fast heroic, or go up with Anubis and do a little bit of water fight. It's kind of very, I mean, each is kind of decent. I would probably almost prefer the staying in classical age with Anubis and fighting water, because water is so important, and both civs will, I mean, any civ needs it, but Isis especially, or Egyptian, could really use water to get out elephants, which are really strong building destroyers. You'll take some coke. we shall all assume you mean a Coca-Cola, but you need elephants for your meat shields and doing the aggressive push. But I mean, so Joe has a bit of decision. I mean, even the Ancestors Eclipse isn't really that bad of an idea either. But then he would probably give up some water dominance. And Pegasus, playing under the alter ego I am Housed, also has some choices as well as far as how hard that he wants to fight on water. Obviously, we got water on both sides. You really want to get on both sides of the water as quick as you can. It looks like Pegasus is kind of the first one to start dock building on the top. And Joe already has his second dock here. Because he has so many docks, he's probably going to be aging up a little bit more slowly than normal, which means he might end up just be doing kind of a semi-fast heroic with Bast Nephthys. But we shall see. I would assume we would get, even the Hermes versus Athena choice kind of could go either way here. Almost probably would go Hermes just to ceasefire the potential Ancestors Eclipse ceasefire, or ceasefiring after it's over to kind of restabilize after the Ancestors Eclipse push. Do we have anybody going up yet? So nobody's going up yet, so that tells me that Joe will probably be doing kind of a semi-fast heroic, because he won't be up until 5:30. And Pegasus is going up with Hermes. He'll be up about 5:20. Does have just one dock on the top, two on the bottom. And now he's sending his other, so he's going to go two docks on both sides. And Joe is actually putting in a third dock. He's got three docks on both sides, or will soon. That's kind of the power of Egyptian on this map, is you're only paying 50 gold per dock as opposed to other civs that are paying 120 wood. So Egyptian dock spam is pretty normal. You'll put it on basically each fishing pack, and actually Joe got some really nice fishing packs here. They're all really close to the shore. Sometimes they spawn a little bit further out, like here, but even on the top side he has some really nice fish, which tells me yes, he will go up Bast and he'll go just straight up heroic because of how safe his fish are. And then it'll become very important to the gold mines. Keep in mind we do have a double gold mine in the base, which kind of makes the early fight over gold, that kind of delays it like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Because then these gold mines in the middle will be very important, because it's kind of what Anatolia is all about, are these forward gold mines. And if Joe can use Ancestors Eclipse, get like a mid goal here, he's essentially gold starving Pegasus. On the other hand, if Pegasus comes up here and takes this map control, you'd be gold starving Joe. So we do have Bast up and Hermes up. We are seeing any, will we see any warboats at all? So far, I am seeing no warboats being built. Joe is getting per sign, which improves his boats, and Pegasus is just going up heroic as well. That's very interesting. I wonder if he'll go up with Dionysus for some Scylla, which those things are really strong and pretty cheap. So we have an early prosperity. He does have pickaxe, and he will probably be trying to get like a 730 heroic time. Let's see what kind of resources. So yeah, he'll be up as soon as this blacksmith is up. It looks like he'll probably be a 745 because the blacksmith isn't quite ready yet. Joe could almost, he's missing out on a villager. He might as well just made one more villager. He's got a little bit idle town center time, but yeah, he'll be aging up. Probably just slightly slower than what he wanted. So yeah, 745, and Pegasus is slightly faster, and he is going up Dionysus. And what Dionysus on Anatolia is so good with is the Scylla, which is the water myth unit, which are really cheap and train really fast and really, like, they're really strong on water. And you'll probably make even maybe a couple on each side of the water to try to take it. We'll see how much. He does have 21 favor, which actually, if he's going to be doing Scylla spam, he's going to want to get a few more vills on his temple. Just have Pandax pickaxe, and Joe has. So Joe is transitioning really heavily to water. It looks, or to wood, which tells me he is going to be going for a age 3 water fight. So actually not a single age 2 boat. And but I stronger. Not a single age 2 boat, which is kind of unusual. Instead, we'll likely see age 3. And we will see, yeah, he's making siege biremes. Maybe a mistake because the sea, well, not actually, they're not biremes for him. War barges, which is their war barges are really weak against Scylla. But only one Scylla. Is he going to? He is going up mythic. I was wondering when I saw no boats being built. So he is going straight up. He being Pegasus is going straight mythic. That's kind of risky. I don't know if he'd get a lot out of that because he's not going to be able to fight water. Joe is putting a ton of boats here, though. Well, at least, well, so far, a ton. He does be careful that he doesn't overbuild boats, which so far actually is kind of the perfect number that he's got here. And now Pegasus is making some hammer ships as well, and we have an Ancestor's Eclipse on the base, which won't do so well because we do have 2 heroes here. We'll do a little bit of idle time, and Joe, seeing this now market, will know that the Mythic Age is coming. And to point this out, this is really nice. This little wall here basically saved his vills from going idle because of the Scorpion Man. And you can see how desperately he wants to get in here, and he can't. So this is a nice little house wall to protect these vills. That's really well done by Pegasus. And actually, this Ancestor's Eclipse almost did nothing. Just a little bit of idle time. And actually on the bottom half now, we actually have Pegasus is kind of pushed off the attack. And Joe seems a little bit like unprepared for this. Like, I say that because... Is he housed right now? I say that because he's kind of caught in doing nothing right now. Like, Joe is like he's not doing anything to take map control. He's not forward building. He's not aging up. All he's doing is making some barracks units. So, and he's not even like really, now he's making some more boats on water. But it seems to me like he's kind of processing Pegasus' strategy and doesn't know what to do right now. So he's kind of doing nothing. Like, why in the world is he making spearmen when he's going to be fighting myrmidons pretty soon? He's still got Hippicon right now, but I would anticipate seeing some myrmidons showing up pretty shortly as soon as he starts putting up some barracks. Kind of surprised he hasn't got a barracks yet. And I'd say just by its pure strategy so far is that Pegasus is kind of way ahead strategically with what's been going on because Joe is now just winning water. Well, he's already got water on the top, but now just winning water on the bottom. And Pegasus, with these strong units, should be able to keep Joe off the mainland. He just needs to get some barracks coming up, and he's making archery ranges. I'm kind of surprised there's no Myrmidons coming. And he does have the Plenty Vault. That's not to be underestimated, especially when you do a fast mythic. The extra, it's technically 9 vills, which Pegasus has 8, 13. Well, it's hard to say now how many he has. 13. He's got about probably 30 vills, so the 9 vill Plenty Vault is what is 930. It's almost 33% boost to his economy just with Plenty. And yeah, I don't know why he's making so many Hippicon when he could be making Myrmidon, which get a huge bonus against all things Egyptian. But he is pushed off of water completely, and Joe needs to build forward and get docks forward so he can get all the other fish. And Blossom Goose says it's chrono time. Yes, it is. Party. And so what is this? This is round 1 of the summer tournament. This is a best of 5, and we are on game number 1. Yeah, I don't like these Hippicon. These Hippicon should be Myrmidons instead. It's a peculiar unit choice. Like, I was thinking that Joe was kind of making the wrong units with his spearmen, but because of all the Hippicon, the spearmen are becoming the right units to make. Oh, I need to be here. Joe is way ahead economically as far as units, and it does look like, maybe just because, in my opinion, the Pegasus has the wrong units, is that he's not able to take control of the base, or the middle, which is allowing Joe to get this gold mine probably, and this town center. And he's trying not to lose his Colossus. They don't have the upgrade. Does need to get some, so Colossus can eat gold to gain HP. The Toxotes though are doing pretty well against the Spearmen here. Just kind of could use the Colossus as a meat shield though, and needs to be careful that he doesn't lose the Colossus. That's a powerful meat shield. He needs to get it on this gold mine and start eating. And now Joe is up mythic as well. This was a nice fight for Pegasus actually, right here. But I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm no Zeus expert, but I would think Pegasus would want to be making Myrmidon here. We have Son of Osiris just kind of sliding on in with his first attack. And Son of Osiris will provide a bit of a problem for Pegasus. He also needs to be careful not to insta-lose his Colossus. And we need to see Bellerophon. Where is Bellerophon? Bellerophon is kind of a pretty good counter. Ooh, the mummy trying to get on the Colossus, but Odysseus needs to shoot. Oh, the mummy did get at him. And Odysseus could have probably killed the mummy, probably not before the special was used, but definitely in this time here. And we do have ceasefire still. Are we going to get ceasefire to get the town center? And unknowingly, he is actually preventing this Migdol from getting up too, because if you don't know, Migdols or any fortress type building and towers can't be built during ceasefire. But the problem with that ceasefire is it is allowing Joe to kind of fortify this up a little bit, get a wall in here, and get on that gold mine. I wonder if Joe has line of... Okay, he does have line of sight of that gold mine. And Joe, just because he has water, is now kind of getting a just economically he'll be way ahead. Though you see he's at 0 gold right now and none in his base, and that's why the ceasefire not necessarily the best thing, because it's allowing Joe to get this gold mine and fortify it up a little bit. Yeah, you're right. Anytime Bellerophon shows up, you're like, he is such a strong unit. But Pegasus is way behind in pop. Way behind, and he's going to have a hard time because he just has so few units, or economy is keeping up with the Egyptian, especially because now we've got this nicely placed wall will allow the catapult to mostly fire protected at the town center. Bellerophon can jump over and kill the catapult, which he will do, and then we'll run away. Actually, yeah, he can finish off the mummy there too, and he gets the mummy. But this gold mine is huge. This is Joe's only gold mine right now, and he is still free mining, and Bellerophon's going to come and probably, oh, wasted the jump. You want to jump on top of the Osiris. And Pegasus losing a lot of his units while he's trying to get at the Osiris. And I don't think Pegasus has a ton of technology yet. Just getting the second line of barracks upgrades. And actually Joe also has some decent upgrades as well. Yeah, getting that ceasefire and allowing Joe to get that gold mine, it's going to be pretty rough for Pegasus here. Son of Osiris just kind of moves through the gate there. Nice walling here during the ceasefire, very nice. So Joe did try, or Pegasus did try to get the next dock up there, and he does have a sneaky dock in the back. But I don't know if he's going to be able to hold this town center. We got elephants being trained. Kind of Son of Osiris badly positioned here, getting targeted by the town center. And now we have our first Myrmidon showing up as well. Hold on, I need to close that. And now we have bronze used. And okay, needs to get at that catapult. The catapult kind of came out a very poor time. Pegasus actually holding this pretty well. Joe could really use another siege workshop, because the one siege workshop you can just keep on making Bellerophon jumping on those catapults. So the wall is down, and Bellerophon's trying to come over and get a jump on the Son of Osiris. And Joe puts him in the Migdal, and now out. He's probably going to garrison. Oh, the damage just came in before he garrisoned. So this is kind of the battle right here. If Pegasus can hold this, and he is now almost at full pop, and push Joe off of gold, that will be very huge. So, oh, Bellerophon almost dead. One more shot will. Oh, the dance. There he goes. But the catapult is down, and Pegasus so far holding this. He does have decent technologies as far as his armory. And Joe now does have Mercs coming in. What is he doing for gold? He's at 16 gold, but he can sell some food. And he is now getting his trade route up, though maybe a little. Okay, so how is his trade route? What are they bringing in? 55 gold, and they don't actually have the caravan upgrade. And now we do have Joe is now moved down to this bottom gold mine here. Bellerophon needs to show back up because Joe has no way to get these catapults, and if that town center goes down, that's probably be the end for Pegasus. He's going to get this one catapult, but I don't know if he's going to be able to rebuild. He could have used, yeah, he doesn't even have a building upgrade yet. And now he's going to be fighting at a pretty significant pop disadvantage. Osiris or Michael Jackson. Yeah, he has had some moves, that's for sure. But now Pegasus is stuck at just 2 town centers and not getting fortified at all. And Joe is kind of now just decided to move on down to the safe gold mine, which I'm kind of surprised he didn't do sooner. And I don't know if Pegasus will be able to keep his town center, or even, well, he's already lost it, but get it back up. That fight here was kind of the important one. If Pegasus could have pulled through and won this whole battle, be looking pretty good for him. But because he lost it, he is behind economically because he doesn't have the ocean. So he'll have a hard time actually fighting through and getting his town center back. Because Joe has pretty good resources right now, and Pegasus not so much. Pegasus getting quite a few. Is this a better map for Egyptian? I mean, I don't know if it's really the map isn't much different than what it used to be. It's actually more open than what it used to be, so that's probably slightly in Egyptian's disfavor. But it is a nice map for Egyptian. That's why I'd say in this matchup, the slightly better for Egyptian. The Bellerophon trying to find Osiris. Osiris just keeps hopping in and out of the amygdala here. And we get this trade route going more and more. And Joe still does not have now. He just got the trade relic, or not the trade relic, the trade tech, and we'll be able to kind of just spam mercenaries forever. The Bellerophon versus Osiris, just never-ending dance here. Kind of interesting though how much Michael. Oh, he's trying to get this town center, and it does get a hop on him. But Bellerophon, without the Zeus hero technology, is a little bit squishy. Hero tech gives him a ton of hit points. No fortified town centers yet, and Pegasus trying to get this town center, and it's just not quite working out for him. And that is GG. I feel like Pegasus had some chances there, but a little too heavy on the early Hippicon, I think. I think it might have been better to probably have some Myrmidon instead. Though then I guess if he makes Myrmidon, I guess Joe could just switch over to the Axeman. But initially, Joe seemed a little bit like not quite prepared for that Mythic Age, but then when he did get that both sides of water, which is good because then Pegasus Eco not nearly what it needs to be. And we have, yeah, we can see this is where he lost the water, and then we can see just kind of quite a bit behind. He was ahead. Pegasus was ahead in kill-loss ratio for a while, but then towards the end fell. So that is game one. And we are going to just really quick hop over to my observer overlay here. So summer overlay. So I got, I'm trying to work at this little overlay here. So I got the rules on the left for this 1v1 tournament. I know we probably got a few more people than what we're immediately in at the beginning of the stream. So each players cannot repeat their god choice, and it's a best of 5, and that they can't repeat it for the entire 5 games. So that's pretty unusual as far as what kind of rules we normally have for our tournaments. It's quite a bit different than our spring tournament where it was you could pick the same god over and over. So we'll get some probably pretty interesting god matchups later on in the series here. So I'm going to try, we'll see how this works. This is kind of, I did play in this tournament, and yes, I already lost, but we'll move on from that. We are going to try to go over and keep a list, a catalog of the gods that have been chosen. So both players chose their best gods in game 1, and I will mark that here, and then I will put in my little text. Where is this text here? Where is it? There it is. There we go. So we got our game 1. Isis versus Zeus. Joe won. Do you have any pets? No pets. Why would I have a collection of spiders or doves? So that is game one, Joe versus Pegasus. So now we're going to move on to game two. I don't know who picked that first map. I wish I could tell because each player does get to pick two maps. So I wish I knew who picked that map, but we will move on now. Now that I got that update, we'll see. I don't know if I'll go to this little screen in between each game or what. But we will move on to game two now. Update my scoreboard at the top would probably be helpful. Joe 1, Pegasus 0. And we will move to game number 2. Okay, so game 2 on Mediterranean. I'm going to guess this is a Pegasus choice. And on the top, Joe is Zeus. And on the bottom, Pegasus in red, he is Poseidon. So Pegasus is switched to Poseidon, Joe over to Zeus on Mediterranean. Now Joe is not as far as I know, not a Greek player at all. So I'd say this matchup, Greek v Greek, should favor Pegasus. Definitely. Because I don't think Joe's a really good Zeus or Greek player. I mean, he's a good player, but each, unlike kind of like maybe Age of Empires 2, each god or culture, I guess, plays substantially differently. So switching from Egyptian to Greek, I mean, you still can have your good mechanics, I guess, but knowledge is kind of key, and being able to use your knowledge to kind of properly respond to all sorts of stuff. Pegasus should be hunting from this Aurochs right now. The hunt is always faster than pigs. I don't know why he's not just putting one vil on it. There we go. So now he'll just get his town center help out killing the Aurochs, and we'll move over to that. Actually, really nice, really died in a nice spot. He could actually slide those vils over. And then Medit, pretty standard just to have pretty all-on classical age fights. I wouldn't say that Zeus or Poseidon are really one of those gods that can kind of come back after losing water, so this will probably be a pretty much all-in water battle, and we'll see what happens. And whoever wins the water will likely win the game. Pegasus, is he housed? No. And if you're wondering, Pegasus is playing under the moniker I Am Housed. How many RGs, so you mean recorded games, have I seen in my life? It really wasn't many prior to me starting my stream. So most of the recorded games I watch are just on stream. In the past, I really haven't watched very many recorded games. It used to be back in the olden days when I was a top 20 player. I'd watch a lot of my games to see what I did wrong and all that kind of stuff. Nowadays, I don't watch my games because I know I suck, and watching my games just frustrates me because I see all these mistakes. I'm like, yeah, I suck. And I don't really watch anybody else's games unless I'm streaming them. So prior to streaming, I haven't really watched many recorded games. Let's see. So we're probably going to be seeing maybe 4-minute 30 advances. Poseidon versus Zeus. Poseidon versus Zeus. I'm trying to think of what gods we might be seeing here. I think we'll probably see Athena from Zeus and probably Ares from the Poseidon. Ares for pestilence to stop boat production. And then Athena for the Zeus to get restoration on the water. Looking at town centers, their Mediterranean town centers are usually pretty defendable. The one thing I do see is that the town centers are in water range. The forward, I guess, kind of forward town centers are in water range. So each player will have one town center in like siege ship water range in H4. That's a 50% chance of both town centers being in water range or both not being in. They are in water range. I didn't work on the 4th of July. I worked on the 5th and 6th and 7th of July. Really, I think if fireworks on the list of things to police are kind of way down at the bottom. I think a few of the most idiotic fireworker setter offers got tickets, but we're talking like just a few. I mean, the problem is if you try to harass them and get them to stop shooting fireworks, they'll just wait until you leave, and then it's just the same thing again. So why not just let them all set their fireworks off, and then we don't have to deal with it anymore? So that's kind of the mentality, as long as they aren't like shooting them at cars, which it happens occasionally. But as far as the game itself, so what are we looking at? So, wow, that's a very fast advance for Pegasus, and actually quite a bit faster than Joe. And Joe's actually going up with Hermes. Yeah, that's very low. I mean, what's high on the list? The high on the list is all the. I'm not in the suburb at all. These are not suburbs. This is out in the middle. No, not curfew. We're high on the list are the drunken fights and the people shooting each other. Which we had, well, we almost had some of that, but anyway, whatever. I'm here to stream games and not talk about work, and actually I really can't get into specifics much. So we're looking at 3 docks here. That's all well and good, and then as soon as this dock comes up, Pegasus is just going to use Pestilence to prevent any boats from being built, and then Joe might respond with a ceasefire, maybe, I don't know. I'm looking for Pest. Needs to come soon before these boats come out. Pestilence? Pestilence? Are we going to see Pestilence? You really don't want these boats to come out. What's he waiting for? Is he going to use it maybe when he sees this first boat? I think he waited too long to use Pestilence. Now we have Pestilence. And I guess maybe he's wanting to get at these first few boats, and now responded by ceasefire. But he really should have not to let him get any boats out at all, because then Joe would have to be just making his first boats after Pestilence is over. It's still coming out of this. Pegasus should have the advantage. But we'll see. Well, who is my biggest influencer on age? We did have that question. Originally, when I first started, it was Glauc. Back in 2003, Glauc was probably the best Set player, and Set was the best god back then in original AOM. And when I transitioned from Age of Empires 2 to Age of Mythology, when I first started playing, I don't know, something clicked about the game and I was pretty good. So then I decided, well, if I can be pretty good, why not copy the best player? And Glauc was arguably the best player back then. And I watched like 10 of his recorded games and then just kind of incompetently copied what he did. But that kind of brought me back then to like 1800 after like a week of playing, just because I watched his games and did what he did. But anyway, we got our first big fight here. Pegasus does have more boats than Joe, but Joe will actually be probably catching up soon. He has 3 docks, Pegasus just 2, so even though he had Pestilence used on him, he will catch up eventually in the boat count. But one thing Pegasus does get from using Pestilence is that he's on the aggression, which is forcing some of Joe's boats to be idle. Do I remember Shiatz? Yes, I do. That was Shiatz. Yeah, I think he was the first to beat 2300. But for some reason, I chose to watch Glauc's recorded games. I'm pretty sure it was Glauc, not Shiatz. But Shiatz, everybody, it was either Poseidon, Thor, or Set back then. This is the biggest fight here right so far that we've seen, and we are looking at kind of neutral-ish, just boats fighting at boats here, and Joe trying to gather from his fish. Where did my face go? I turned it off, my big guy. We're focused on the game, not on me. And we can see that Pegasus is up in score because probably he does have a slight resource advantage, though Joe did up slightly later. So all resources total, he had Pegasus slightly up. He does have more boats than, I don't know why he's being quite so tentative here with this fight. He has more boats, and eventually Joe having 3 docks, so Pegasus is getting his 3rd. is getting his third dock up, but I'm kind of surprised Pegasus isn't kind of doing like hit and runs with the Greek. I know, I guess Greek v Greek kind of nullifies. But okay, so now we have this big old fight right here in the middle, trying to get boats back and forth. Yeah, I don't know why Joe's fighting this because he's at ship disadvantage here. It's not as many numbers, and now Pegasus will go forward and we'll probably fight under dock fire, and then we'll have to see him kind of retreat. And we got a few low HP boats right here on the bottom. Yeah, look, Pegasus should win this fight, I think. Joe's trying to micro, but you can see how many boats he's moving back at the same time. And Pegasus is kind of pushed up against the shore. We do have all three docks are firing right now. And almost at this point, Pegasus should kind of fall back. Just a little bit, like he's kind of a little bit too far forward with some of his boats, which is allowing the docks to shoot as well. And we kind of see he's moving half of his boats here and half are fighting. So actually, the initial fight was very good for Pegasus, but he went in a little bit too deep. That's what she said. And he lost a lot of boats there, kind of towards the back end. The Twitch chat on the screen. So what I use is called Restream. It has a chat function. Look at the glasses throwing the scout. And he just bounces along. Yeah, 3 docks are enough. You don't need more, unless you're Egyptian, then you make like 10. But 3 is enough, I think. What are we doing for eco upgrades? So yeah, check out Restream.io. And there is a chat box function. It's actually pretty slick the way it works, because it shows up on my screen. I can see it, and it's click through. Now we got another fight right here in the middle. Looks like it's going Pegasus's way so far. Joe just needs to kind of just keep falling back and fighting under his docks here. We still see full on. Everybody's still going full on. This is about as long. See it about as long as a 1v1 boat battle as you'll typically get. Generally by this time we've kind of had somebody win or lose. In a team game at this point you'd see players kind of transitioning to town centers, but in 1v1s you can't really, because the water is so small, you can't really afford to transition before you've won, because then you'll lose water and then don't have any food to build your town centers. And still just a very even fight here. Any techs? No blacksmith or nothing. You can see Joe is trying to fight as close to the land as possible to get the docks shooting. And eventually Joe just kind of beats Pegasus off. I think Pegasus did have kind of the advantage there overall as far as fights. When you are doing naval battles like this, you do want to keep a very close eye on the enemy hit points, because we see there are 6 boats with like under 30 hit points. And you want to try to like keep that in mind and try to target the low hit points right away. Like if he splits up his boats, he could get a ton of boats in the middle. And actually it looks like Pegasus is, yeah, he did. We saw about 5 boats right there just go down. So Pegasus did notice all those low hit point boats and did target them. And we can see that Joe, because he lost so many low hit point boats, all of a sudden it looks like he's way outnumbered, which, well, he is. And he has stopped boats, so he's kind of given up the water at this point. And we'll probably try to get a town center, but a very, very cheeky forward wall here. I think he will end up being spotted, but yeah, this water is now, Joe is giving it up. He has not even making boats anymore. Pegasus needs to stop. I think he made a few extra boats than what he needed to. And now we see this town center getting grabbed, and Pegasus was trying to wall him off, but didn't quite do it. And now he will fall back. Pegasus should be getting both of his town centers, and now we'll kind of go into the mid-game stage where both players will get town centers. But Pegasus naturally will boom faster because he has the boat eco to fall back on. He should actually make a few more boats. Okay, now he is. Yeah, he's making a few more boats. He did get, I saw him get per sign. So he's got his upgraded boats, and he is making a few more boats. So he'll have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 boats. That's not actually a bad number for 1v1 Medit. 11 boats. Finally a good streamer. But yeah, restream, Strange Strike, restream IO for this little chat box. There's a lot of different options that you can do. You can make it transparent and stuff like that, which I do. And then it's also click through as well. So like when I play, I can keep this up and I can click through it and it's like it's not there. And if I want to interact with it, I can hold control. Though sometimes it bugs a little bit at that point and becomes non-click through. But yeah, this works great. This is like the best thing I ever found in my entire life, other than my wife. Wife restream.io chat interface. Those are the number 1 and number 2 things in my life. What kind of eco upgrades? Just the first line, Pegasus, a little bit. This Centaur has a death wish and is dead. Nice to show up and beaten down by the Colossus, or not the Colossus, by the Cyclops. Cyclops really is one of the coolest god myth units in the game. Just you don't get to see them used too much, just because non-Zeus favor rate for Greeks is just pretty slow, especially early on. I mean, to get many Cyclops out, just kind of a pretty significant drain on your economy early on, to the point where by the time you get Cyclops out, it's kind of too late for them to be useful. We do see Pegasus did make probably a few too many boats. Not a big deal, but that's another thing to kind of think about when it comes to boat battles, is that once you win, you want to be careful not to overmake boats, because every extra boat you make is, that's 150 resources, and obviously you need to make enough to beat your opponent. And now we had the Centaur with the Death Wish, and now the Cyclops has his own Death Wish, and he will die. And yes, as Ozone does mention, the right side of the map is more important. That is where most of the gold is. Joe has 2 gold mines on the right, and Pegasus has 2 gold mines on the right, whereas on the left is just 1 and 1 gold mine. 4 gold mines per player, or no, 3 gold mines per player. That's pretty standard for Medit. A lot of players probably don't know this, is that the actual number of gold mines within the same map can actually vary quite a bit. I think on the original Medit, you could have as few as 2 additional gold mines. And it might be now in the patch, it might be 3, I don't know off the top of my head. But yeah, 2 gold mines, and maybe, I think 2 is the lowest. I don't know why you built that extra dock there. Ooh, the rotated granary, look at that, Joe, for style points. What kind of text we getting here? Joe is actually no, that's, never mind, I'm confused. Joe is not the first one to age up, it's Pegasus, and that's normal. Pegasus could really do quite a few things here. Almost be worth it just to do a quick mythic with Earthquake, and once he uses Earthquake here, I mean, Joe would really have no response to that. I'm wondering, yeah, he's making his market, so it looks like that's what Pegasus will do. And I mean, he's just so far ahead economically, there's really nothing Joe could even do to even think about stopping that. He's just now aging up age 3. And Pegasus should have the eco, well, soon. He's got a little bit of gold issues, so actually not as fast as maybe he would like. He put in 300 gold into a fortress. It'd almost be worth it to just age up first, and then build the fortress. Alright, so it looks like Pegasus ended up selling all of his wood. So he'll be aging up. Now with, Hephaestus. Huh. It doesn't really matter. I mean, Pegasus is quite substantially ahead, but it seems to me if he were to go up with, who is the other one? Artemis. Just using the instant Earthquake would just be the instant win. But he should be able to push through anyway. I mean, he's quite substantially ahead economically. I mean, we can compare eco. Actually, Joe's closer than I thought he would be. Kill loss, he did lose quite a bit. Yeah, Joe's decently behind. Aging. What has he got here? Military Academy. And he is making his market up here. Technology is not too good for eco. Pegasus a lot better. He's got everything except for his third wood upgrade. Does he have per sign? Or not the first sign, the second one. What is the second one? Salt Amphora. He does have that. So he's got all of his eco upgrades almost. Joe's a little bit behind. Joe's going to want to get his building HP upgrades. So we've got the first catapult, or I guess Petrobolus, shooting in, kind of just slowly pegging down. Now we have Curse used. Actually got quite a few army there. Bolt used on the hero, but the Manicore is going melee. More boats, less vills. No, what do you mean? I mean, he should still be going 80 vills. Yeah, he's full vills, 80 vills. So he's up mythic. I mean, Joe should probably be calling it soon. He doesn't really have any god powers that could save him. He's just got Underworld, and he's not gonna. Yeah, Earthquake, I guess. Earthquake would have been kind of pointless, I guess, at this point, because Pegasus is already defeating Joe pretty badly right here anyway, so what is Joe going to do? Probably nothing. Other than move on. The sneaking forward builds here to just start building the town center. And yeah, so looks like Pegasus just deleted a bunch of his boats to get more pop. He does not quite have fortified town centers. Joe is going up H4 Hera for Lightning Storm. Looks like he might maybe try to do kind of a panic Lightning Storm to maybe get this back, but Pegasus with fully upgraded Hippocon do actually tank Lightning Storm a decent amount. Though Lightning Storm will wipe out the army, but I mean, look at how far behind Joe is now. And I don't even know, will this... He'll be up in time to use it. But he's just going to have to use Lightning Storm just to basically stop the town center from going up. Does have line of sight with these buildings, so we'll probably see it used right away. Yep, there it is. And we'll see the Lightning Storm carnage that does follow. Doesn't do, because Pierce Armor is so high on the catapults, they actually tank quite a bit of the Lightning Storm. It does kill all three of them, and the majority of the army is dead. Do boats deliver food faster than a villager? Initially. Once you get to Mythic Age, farming is faster with the fully upgraded. And oh, the special used on the Colossus, very nice. Mythic Age farming is better than fishing, and especially like fish like this, very inefficient. Even with both fish upgrades. The fish right next to the boat or dock are more efficient, but Mythic Age farming is better. So theoretically, even if you win the water, you should eventually transition to farms because it is more pop efficient. But that would be pretty kind of later in the game. So we see that the Lightning Storm did allow Joe to kind of briefly push, but that is just kind of short-lived, and the push will end very soon. Joe has a few upgrades, not a ton actually, but he's got fully upgraded cavalry, and Joe still just has medium and heavy for his units here. And oh, we do have upgraded siege ships, and Joe is trying to get on the water, but it is too late, and really nothing going on yet on the left side. We have a temple being built for some Colossus, I would assume. But yeah, Pegasus is getting the forward town center, and at this point, I mean, Joe just losing the water is just generally a death. It's generally the death to your chances of winning on Medit. About the only gods that can kind of reliably win without it are Egyptian, and probably maybe Ra at the best because he gets rain, but probably not in a Zeus or a Greek Greek fight, you lose water, you're probably gonna lose the game, unless the person who wins the water is like plays completely incompetently after that. So Joe is still just kind of continuing on here. Poseidon plus Hephaestus is cancer. How is that any more or less cancerous, or more cancerous than Zeus? Hephaestus. And there it is. GG. So that is game number 2. So we can see what's that push, and Joe getting him pushed off of that town center. That's kind of the immediate change to being able to keep up mostly economically. Joe's actually closer than I thought, but yeah, then you see Plenty Vault and the civvies die. So that is game 2. We will update our scoreboard to 1-1, and we will real briefly, just because I spent the time to prepare it, 30 minutes or so. Go to our overlay. We will update our little box over here and get our next gods put in. Remember, no, they cannot choose the same god more than once. So we will update this, and we have now the 2 Greek gods so far by Pegasus, and Joe has used just 1 Egyptian. And it's Pegasus, I don't know how good he is non-Greek, so he might start struggling coming up. He'll probably even choose Hades this next game, but Hades does not match up. Probably, I think Joe would probably go like a Set or something, and Hades versus Set is not too good. So just remember, I need to copy that and paste a duplicate, and Joe has lost and Pegasus has won, so we have a 1-1 so far. And it is best of 5, so players cannot repeat a god choice, so we potentially have 3 more games. So now we have finished with our very brief intermission. We will move on to game number 3 at 1-1. So let's. I don't think there's really too much to look at in the post game other than a nice kill loss ratio for Pegasus, more coke and some food. Yeah, okay. Game 3. I was right. Set versus Hades on Watering Hole. So this is definitely going to be a Joe map here. So definitely Joe picked this map. And Set versus Hades, it's just not a good matchup for Hades. So this, the rules here kind of hurt the solo culture players, of which Pegasus is one, and even Joe is 2. Joe is mainly just Egyptian, and Pegasus is mainly just Greek. So now we see Hades versus Set, and the reason I say Hades kind of struggles is that it really doesn't have. I mean, Set's specialty is kind of the counter archer, really good slingers and decent chariots, both of which do pretty well against Toxotes, and that's kind of Hades' function is Toxotes. So that even just the basic god bonuses kind of Set kind of counters Hades. Hades also has a little bit of trouble with like competing for map control. Doesn't really have any, because his bonuses are to Toxotes. Doesn't really have any speed, really fast units that are stronger. Like, you know, Zeus gets stronger and faster infantry, and Poseidon gets cheaper, and then a good tech line for his cavalry, which are fast. But Hades just gets slightly faster archers and stronger and archers, but the archers are still kind of slow. So when it comes to trying to get map control, kind of a struggle, especially when you're facing Set, who is going to be converting animals, and already converted a few hippopotami, I guess would be the plural. Oh, why is this villager coming back there? There you go. There you go. So Joe could kind of do a variety of things here. Might do like a forward or aggressive forward shift with all those free animals that he's going to get, and probably take this town center is what I think you'll end up doing. Though actually, if we, yeah, Probably take this town center, because then that kind of gives him a decent place to attack to the right side, which is where 2 of Pegasus gold mines are, though this gold mine is pretty well protected right next to this town center. Is this a top set map? Yeah, I'd say this is one of the best set maps, just because you're getting really strong animals to convert, and because it's also kind of the way it is with the map design is that you typically only have just a few ways into the middle, because Set can get map control, Set can get like the forward town center of the opponent, which really cuts down on the opponent's access to the middle. This is actually maybe a little more of an open watering hole, at least on Pegasus' side than normal, because he's got 3 entries to the middle, whereas Joe only has 2. Set on Marsh, see, I'd say this is a better map than Marsh. Because it's not quite, it maybe sounds a little bit weird, but Marsh has too much hunt. Set's kind of strength is converting early animals and pushing the enemy off of hunt. Marsh has more back hunt than Watering Hole does. So Marsh, it's not quite as bad to lose the forward map, because you can generally have 2 or 3 hunts to fall back on that are generally pretty safe, whereas Watering Hole, you'll typically have just that, typically just have 1 fairly safe back hunt, which we can see here is we have just the safe zebra. The hippo are a little bit more forward. JJ for expert. I am expert staff, man. People forget this. It's because I have that staff tag next to me on RTS Sanctuary, but I am expert staff, just kind of retired. Set is an evil god to play. It depends on your mindset. Other people will say Atlantean is evil. Some will say Isis. Some Ra. Some Zeus. Nobody says Norse, because they're kind of the schoolyard bullied as opposed to the bullies. The Norse are kind of the kids everybody pick on at school. Except for low key, except for team game. 1v1, it's just, I don't know, it's so hard, I suppose, to keep it to where it needs to be. Team game and 1v1 balance. But anyway, about the map. So a lot of hippos here. What are we looking at for advances? Okay, Joe is up. It looks like he will be shifting to get this town center, I think. Or maybe he's just going to walk forward and get that one. Maybe he'll get this one. Or maybe he's just going to walk forward. So I guess he's just walking and not doing any animal aggression at all. What? Huh. Well, I ended up changing. I first said it was even, but then I changed it to like a 55 or 60-40. So not quite even. Historically, it would have been more even, because you had had the stronger, the stronger Zeus. But yeah, nowadays 60-40. It's a lot of heroes here. This will actually kind of directly counter all of this. Chiron, that is one thing that. Oh, he shifted everything. So that doesn't really help. Oh, well, Pharaoh is still coming, which will be able to do some damage. But Joe probably didn't want to shift everything there, which he couldn't. There was no way he could not do that, because, well, Ajax is going to take down the town center, I guess. So Pharaoh will do some damage here. But yeah, that wasn't not nearly as good of a shift as it could have been. Like, he probably could have done a very aggressive forward shift if he would have known that. Like, he should have probably done vision and shifting right away. I don't think it wasn't that good of a shift. I don't even think he lost a villager to the Pharaoh. Compared to what potentially the shift could have done, because they advanced about the same time. Joe should have just done vision right away, might have been able to pick these vills, and if he just shifted his, did the typical Wadget, Pharaoh, animal shift, he could have likely killed all of them because of how far out they were. Like if he shifts here, these vills probably all dead with a good shift. But I mean, it's still not a bad shift. Shifting sands is kind of one of those god powers that's really kind of hard to screw up. The action at the top corner. He's converting elephants. That is big though. This is actually more so of why Set is so strong, is the converting of the high-powered hunt. Because when you think of the shift, we're not talking shifting sands anymore, but the shift in hunt is Pegasus is losing 750 food and Joe is gaining 562. So each elephant is like almost a 1300 hunting shift or change, and that is huge for Set's power play, and that's why. And what it allows for Set to do is Set can play basically every map as a high hunt map, because he can convert opponents' hunt, and then also gets free hunt. And you can see just how much hunt he has here, and he can just 3-town center happily 3-town center boom to heroic age, whereas the opponent might not necessarily be able to because of losing hunt. And that's why like Set is he's also strong on like maps like so even like maps like Oasis and Savannah, because Set can take a hunt on, or like Alfheim can take the hunt on kind of a lower hunt amount. Like say Alfheim, where it's a low hunt Alfheim, and Set starts converting even just 5 of the enemy elk. I mean, that's a huge percentage of the hunt that's gone. And yeah, he gets 2 elephants. So what is that? Like a 2,600 food swing. That's huge. And probably like if Set were to get nerfed going forward, to me the place to nerf is how much hunt Set gets from its converted animals. Because that's just huge. I mean, even just taking the elephant in and of itself is pretty big. But the fact that it also gets him 560 more hunt right next to a town center, I mean, this is what makes Set so strong. More so than even it kind of goes hand in hand with the early map control. I mean, the early map control allows this to happen. And what counter do you really have? I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, how do you stop, other than finding every single priest and killing it? Well, I guess in this case it's just one. But how do you stop it? I mean, really, for a lot of gods, there's no stop to it, which is, I mean, what is the Hades going to do here? Try to respawn with his own 3-town center, but just isn't going to be able to keep up because not having as much hunt access. And yeah, these 2 elephants are gone. I don't even know if... Well, Pegasus never even scouted the elephants, so I don't even know if he would have ever gone to them. Which is maybe why he didn't think to check. Because he has... The one thing Hades does have, though, is a very mobile hero, which has been boosted to get more speed through the patch. And the 5.5 speed hero is pretty good, but yeah, 945 advance, 3 town centers, as Cease My Fire pointed out. That is very fast, and there's no way Hades can even come close to matching that. And yeah, Chiron's attack, I think, is lower than kind of his counterparts. I think he has lower attack, but maybe a higher bonus against myth units. Maybe I'm maybe kind of just speaking out of my butt with that, but that's maybe what kind of my instinct when I was just from looking at it in the past. So first is the Migdol. Should have a Seeds Workshop coming up shortly. Now we have more Set crap. Is we have the 600 more free hunt spawning just for reaching age 3. Like, congratulations for reaching age 3. Here is more free hunt. You already advanced faster than your opponent, so we will now allow you to advance even faster. Here's 600 more free hunt. Kind of pays for itself, really advancing. Now here comes the Siege Workshop. probably even make another. I almost want 2 siege workshops in this situation. Really putting a ton of vills up there, kind of inefficient at this point. Whoa, Joe has 1,700 gold. What is he going to be using all of that for? I guess he might have to transition to farms soon, but at this point the 1,700 gold is maybe a little bit overkill. He'd probably like to have some of that in wood so he can actually make a siege tower. Oh, mercs, yeah, forget. Since I don't really make mercs, I kind of forget about that. And that's what we do have, the close town centers here, so he can make lots of mercs if he needs to. And the Toxotes, with their little bit more speed, does allow them to kite a little bit better. Is getting in on the spearmen. Should try to get the Pharaoh next. Get the Pharaoh next. Oh, okay, does just get the Pharaoh. Could probably use a few more barracks, actually, for maybe a few more slingers. But the mercenary cavalry also kind of shred axemen, or not axemen, shred archers just as well as slingers, if not better. And will he even be able to get to age 3? Is he aging? He is aging. Okay, he is age 3 now. But kind of substantially behind as far as army. It would actually behoove him to make some towers here. I mean, the sentinels are nice, but they don't. Their attack is actually kind of poor. What is it? Like 11 base, but I can't remember. Originally, their accuracy was just like completely useless. I thought it was boosted, but he does have, what is it, curse, which he can use. Trying to get at the heroes, but way in. Probably should have walled a little bit. He had time to wall, just to slow down the push here, because the early heroic push is what he has to be worried about. Late game he can kind of solidify, but should have maybe considered putting in some even maybe upgraded walls, which have tons of hit points. And he did have, for a little bit there, the advantage as far as militarily, where he could have made a few walls. Which I wouldn't say is necessarily over yet. The Hades does have stronger buildings, but Joe might actually be advancing, and he is. And that's just, again, courtesy of all of the hunt that he gets. Is advancing kind of pays for itself in a way when you consider that he's getting 600 hunt when he advances to heroic. I mean, that's 600 hunt towards advancing to the next stage, and because he can push with not needing a whole lot of food units, he just needs to make, as long as he keeps up the pressure, which he can do that with just chariots and siege towers, he can advance up pretty quickly. And if he doesn't get the town center down by the time he's heroic, he can just get it down with the tornado. Still has 2,300 gold, and Pegasus, you can see Pegasus just has no economy. Is aging up. I don't know if the Hephaestus really gets him much value here. I mean, you're right. You can't really quite think of it that, though, because then you're also not gathering with those 4 villagers you didn't make. And yeah, we see the instant tornado being used. That kills that, and really I don't know what Mr. Pegasus would do to get his town center back. If he had Earthquake, he could potentially do kind of a counter forward town center destruction, but he's going up with Hephaestus. Ecotex, just the first line of everything. Joe does have the second gold mine. In this case, it might probably have been better for Pegasus to stay heroic. Because really, when the early game or early the mid-heroic / early mythic push is kind of set strength here. And going up Hephaestus, by the time you're getting Hephaestus's boost, that set push is kind of done. So, I mean, if you're going to lose to set, it's going to be generally in that late heroic, early mythic time period. Restoration used. Getting not really a ton of value out of that. Because, I mean, just by the time Hephaestus, he gets his bonus from Hephaestus, I mean, he's going to be down 4 to 2 town centers. I mean, I guess the Hephaestus does help because Set does not get Osiris. Oh, late game you could use it, but I don't know. I feel like Pegasus would probably have been better served to stay heroic and get a full heroic army. But there are, and I say this quite often, there's reasons why I am not in the top of the leaderboard these days, and these guys are. So take everything I say with a grain or two, or a whole shaker full of salt. Just no upgrades at all. Yeah, the elephants. I mean, that's 1,000 food that directly helped it being. I mean, but I mean the map itself. I mean, Set versus Hades on Watering Hole. I mean, that's pretty heavily in Set's favor anyway. And we have the Avenger up here killing these few villagers. But actually, Pegasus never scouted those elephants. So could you say maybe he would have guarded them? If he would have known they were there, like say he scouts them, he probably walls this off, and the elephants never get converted. So you can really say that the conversion of the elephants was a Pegasus mistake, because he did not scout them. And you should know. I mean, a good player should know that you're always going to have an elephant spawn on the side somewhere on Watering Hole. So if you haven't scouted them, you should try and find out where they're at. And like if they spawn down on this bottom side here, I mean, Joe would never be able to convert them. But well, nice try cutting this wood here, but I think Mr. Avenger will kind of put an end to that. And no Pierce Armor upgrades. I'd kind of think that when you're doing a Hades versus Set matchup, you'd kind of want to get your Pierce Armor upgrades as soon as possible. But that is GG. So game 3 goes to Joe. It's just kind of the textbook Set push. And it's what we got here. So now we move on to game 4. And kind of Joe is almost kind of outmaneuvered Pegasus a little bit, in that Pegasus has used all of his... Oh, that's the wrong overlay. Has used all of his Greek gods, and Joe kind of just almost in a way gave up a game by going Poseidon in game 2. So kind of what you see is with Pegasus here, I almost would have, in his case, Set versus Hades is just on Watering Hole is just such a terrible matchup. If I were him, I would have just maybe almost thrown the game away, because by going Hades, you're kind of throwing the game away anyway. And now he is up against a wall, and I would assume for game 4, we'll probably see Joe going with Ra. And Joe's Ra is still pretty good. And what is Pegasus going to do? He is only a Greek expert. What is he going to do to probably counter Ra? Now, I assume this is his map to pick, so maybe he has a secret strategy for game 4. So we will move into game 4. Your Oranos isn't... Yeah, he could go Oranos into Ra. That's actually not a bad... That's a good thought right there as well. So we will see. Because actually Oranos does play pretty well against Ra as well. So we'll see. I need to get actually my next. Let me hold on. I don't have my newest recording in here, so we'll go back to my overlay. Dang it, on the wrong overlay. Summer overlay. There we go. So we're looking for the next recorded game. Got that. Now I need to go to... Oh, this is always annoying trying to navigate my disorganized computer. Don't look at my desktop. It's terrible. Save game all the way down to my summer tournament folder. We will move this next recorded game here. Game number 4. Game 4. And now we can go to the my right window here. Game 4. What will we see? This should be, from my understanding of how the maps have gone, this should be Pegasus map. So probably, oh, what are we gonna see? I'm so Oranos. Vinlandsaga. I love this map. This is the best map ever. Oh, this map is so good. So, as I touched on at the beginning of the stream, is that you can choose almost any map that came with the game, of which Vinlandsaga is one. So we have a very substandard map here. Vinlandsaga Oranos versus Oranos. And why is Pegasus not building a dock? There he is. So it looks like probably he was waiting to actually get line of sight, and unfortunately for him, Joe had line of sight of these fish right away, so he built his dock right away, and now Pegasus has line of sight, but he's not even building his dock next to these fish. It's... Oh, he does get a second pack here. But yeah, Vinlandsaga fish is just kind of widely varied as far as where they're going to show up. But Vinlandsaga, obviously, what are we looking at as far as we're seeing this map? Because we might have a lot of viewers maybe now or then later on the old YouTubes that might not know what this map... This is what this map looks like. It's basically a migration map. You start with some berries, scattered wood, one small gold mine on your mainland, and then the goal of the game is, of course, to maneuver to the middle of the map where all the gold is, all the food is, all the town centers are, all the trees are, and there's even a few random units, Gaia units here that will attack your units. These little guys right here, they're very annoying, just to cause additional havoc. But Oranos v Oranos on this map. I'm wondering if Pegasus did a practice on it to try to figure out how to play it or something. We'll see. I noticed he did kill a oracle earlier. I think that was to get another house or another boat in before he had to build a house. So we'll see. This might be kind of a quick game. I could see it being quick because if one of the Oranos players gets control of the mainland, well, that's GG. But I like this map. I wish... It's kind of, in my opinion, one of the downfalls of the Age of Mythology community is the resistance to new / substandard or non-standard maps. Because you look at the Age of Empires 2 community, and they will have maps designed specifically for tournaments, and completely new crazy maps. And I guess maybe when you're playing for $5,000, who's going to complain about it? But here, you get... I mean, and I played in this tournament, and I lost. But I picked Vinlandsaga, and I won on Vinlandsaga. And just a lot of complaining about it. And I don't know. It's just the downfall is that the Age of Mythology has been around for 15 years. And players are still, for the most part, playing the same 9, 10, or 11 maps, random map, for 15 years, playing the same 11 maps. It'd be nice if Joe would use his oracles to scout or something. Oh, maybe he did. Oh, he's sending pigs back. So that is another nice little facet of this map. is that you can put pigs from the mainland into your boat and send them back home so your vills can eat. And actually, Joe has been doing that. I wonder if he learned that from watching me the other day when I played, because that's what I was doing, was sending boats back. So Joe is up 420, and Pegasus is up, yeah, pretty close to that as well. And Joe is sending back more piggies and building another dock. And Pegasus is moving one vill to the mainland. Water is pretty important as well. I mean, you're talking about a lot of fishing. Joe, though, only has 3 boats. Nope, never mind. He's got 6. I couldn't see this. Who's chose this map? This would be Pegasus' map. I can 100% be sure that it's Pegasus that chose this map. So Pegasus has moved 1 vill to the mainland. Joe has not moved any. And that is also kind of the balance that you're playing in this game, is once this mainland stuff runs out, then you're moving to the, or once your initial base stuff runs out, you're going to be at a no income for your economy for a couple minutes while you're shifting your vills over to the mainland. So we are going to see... It looks like just boats so far, and actually Joe has 2 boats, or docks, and Pegasus only has 1. That's Pegasus needs a second dock. Pegasus is actually really valuing the mainland, and Joe is valuing the fish, and I feel like very early on you want to put the initial pressure on the fishing, and then after doing that for the first couple minutes, then move to land. So that land you can actually get a decent army without needing resources on the base. So we'll see. What is he building? Another house. So Joe is actually, even though he has 2 docks, he's actually on the defensive right now. We have Valor used with his oracles and a vill right there. So that's why he sent his vills back. Oh, gotta watch out. That's 1 boat versus 4. It's, my math says that's not good for Pegasus. And Pegasus is waiting to get his 3rd Terma out, and he loses Valor on his Terma. Where is this? Oh, Joe is going to do some pressure on Pegasus base. So Pegasus will see this now, if he's paying attention, and sees this transport coming up with 3 Prometheans and 3 Oracles. This could do some damage. Because Pegasus doesn't have anything. Oh, he's... yeah, he has nothing on his mainland to try to respond to this. And now Pegasus is actually kind of in desperation building a barracks. But I don't think he will even have Valor soon enough to really make that even worth it. And he's going to lose. Oh, you got badly out microed there, chasing the boat, and he's going to lose all of his boats. And yeah, we see that Pegasus just has this army on the land that really is kind of pointless right now, and he is losing his fishing. And there's still 1900 gold on that. Oh, the shockwave! Oh, those 2 Promethean, you can hear them screaming in pain when the boat gets killed. Or maybe just screaming because they can't swim. I don't know. But they're dead. The boat is dead. And Pegasus has himself an army on the mainland that's right now is useless. And the problem is... Oh, okay. The 6... Man. Just imagine, though, if Pegasus could use his own shockwave and had boats. I mean, just the hypotheticals are real. What was inside the boat was just 2. It was just 2 Promethean. So really, Pegasus' only chance now is to scout these vills coming to the mainland. And right now he is not Probably could actually have his oracles in a little better spot. This one here is kind of pointless. But oh, they are going to move into line of sight now, and Pegasus is getting a mainland town center. But right now he's always going to try to sneak his vills to the mainland. Pegasus should see this and respond. There he is responding, but I mean he doesn't have much of an army. But he will kill the only unit that... Oh, who used Valor? So Valor on this right here. Will this... Okay, so the transport ship will get out. Yeah, Pegasus' only chance right now is to completely starve Joe on the mainland. And... Oh man, if he had those Prometheans on the base right now, he could stop this town center for sure. Like, just imagine if he hadn't sent... Because really, to me, what Pegasus should have done is just not even bothered with losing his base, or at least his town, or, you know, his few buildings. He can't kill this citizen. Should be able to. Yeah, one more shot, we'll get it. Does he have Shockwave or no? Shockwave? Did he use it? Oh, he doesn't. He didn't use it. Like, it might cost him killing this Vill. Yeah, it did. I mean, he could have killed one more Vill. But yeah, not man. If I mean, it's easy to watch from afar and say what should have happened, but if Pegasus would just have focused, because that's what his focus was the mainland, and he let his focus get distracted when Joe landed on his mainland, and now he's got this army here that is again useless. If that army would have been here, that town center wouldn't go up, and Joe would have nothing on the mainland. And now Joe has fishing and a town center on the base, so Pegasus is going to have a hard time responding. Although Joe does not have... Okay, no, he's got his boats there. Yeah, Joe has got fishing. So over time, Joe will definitely get the edge here. He'll get that one Vill. Oh, do you still have Shockwave, though? I want to use it for him. This is a really nice town center as well, because it gets kind of 2 gold mines and the wood. And like, oh, though he still is mining gold on the mainland. Pegasus is still up by score, but as time goes on, he will fall quite a bit behind because he does not have fishing. And oh, he's trying to get this dock, but I don't know why you'd build your dock there. Why wouldn't you put your dock right here? Okay, so Valor has been used, and this is the one thing is that Joe can just make infinite Murmillo. Oh man, Joe. Oh, if Pegasus would not have lost those 2 Promethean and just had them on the mainland, he would win this. Not that this game is definitively over, but Joe is just going to get further and further ahead. Oh, didn't pick that Villy off, so that's nice. It's trying to keep up the pressure here. How much gold is left? 1,000 gold. So Joe can still make 1,000. Oh, Joe is probably trying to age up or something. Joe has a lot of... So Joe has 1,600 gold. So he's going to be able to make 1,600 gold worth of units. He's also badly housed. And Pegasus also has a ton of gold, and he is also housed. And he's trying to get... oh Dee. Oh no. Denied. And this is nice looking out by Joe there to prevent the Vills from getting off the mainland. Although the Shockwave, and that'll be 3 Hero Murmillo and a Promethean dead as well. Like you could see the effects. Oh, is Joe gonna... Oh, Joe just missed garrisoning that. So yeah, we've had Pegasus is at all these Promethean. I forget too that the Promethean get stuck in the water sometimes. So these boats are just shooting endlessly at these Promethean. Another citizen dead. This is just too funny. This game sometimes. I don't think that first ones. I don't think these spawned underwater though. The first ones that died. It's picking off 1, 2, 3 Vils, and we'll get a 4th here. So really nice kind of responding pressure on the mainland though. But we have this raiding group of army here. So really holds on to that shockwave for a long time and actually gets some value out of it. If this game kept tabs on accuracy, Joe would be very poor this game because of all these missed shots on the Promethean. Okay, stop shooting at the Murmillo and just shoot at the Terma. This is a winning fight. Why are you running? Oh, because of this right here. That's why. Oh, but no, he's got that taken care of. He needs to keep this. Again, his only chance is to pressure. And Joe is out of gold on his mainland. Why is he running back? Oh, his whole army. And that'll allow Joe to get full pop. Joe has a ton of eco. Pegasus not too bad though. Joe's at full pop though. Oh, why did he run his entire... Oh, man. Oh, but Joe might have a hard time maybe getting a town center. But I think Joe will end up going age 3 now. Yeah, he'll go age 3. No, Vinlandsaga, I mean, it's when you're considering like actual map balance, it's out there. I mean, you never know where the town centers are going to spawn. Did he? Okay, so Pegasus did get his Vils off. So actually, all these Vil kills here that Pegasus got actually kept him in the game, but we've got a huge number coming in here, and that's... Pegasus is being very defensive right now. He needs to keep the pressure on. And yeah, he can't raid here because he doesn't have his army. Like if these Carol Ballistas are up here, they can cause a lot of mayhem. Because they are at full town center, or 2 town centers, both of them. But Joe has pop in the sea, and Pegasus doesn't. We might see a shockwave. Or never mind, we don't. I don't know what Pegasus is doing with his army. Because he should realize, oh, losing a lot of units here too. Pegasus has his chances, but aging up for Joe Hyperion. Pegasus, so he's not even at full, is it? Pegasus is just so far behind economically. Because we see Joe has just all of these boats. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 boats. Pegasus' chance was to just map control this. But wasn't able to, and now he'll just keep on falling further behind. Why did he run? That was a fantastic spot that he was in right there. He could have just choke pointed that up. Like that would be, to me, that would be a winning fight for Joe there. Or not Joe, for Pegasus staying right there. Like even now if he turns. Well, yeah, the transport kills were big. These Promethean are still there. I think more so is that Omega or Joe, or not Omega, Omega or Pegasus put his focus on the mainland and then got kind of knocked off of it by this just this kind of this pointless pressure over here, which I guess wasn't pointless at all because it got Pegasus to send units back, and he sent those Promethean back. And because the Promethean were dying right here, they weren't here. I mean, you get that crush damage on the Promethean, and that town center never goes up. But watching from my eagle eye perch up here, it's very easy to know what is good and what is not good. Yes, I'm still on the night shift. I'll be on night shift until end of August. So I got another month and a half of the night shift. He just deletes the stats here. And Joe, as we saw from my little tech thing, is aging up. Age 4. Yeah, Kronos would probably be better here than Oranos. And probably even Gaia would be better than Oranos as well, because you get the trees. I'm surprised that I'm surprised now that you mention that. I'm thinking of it, is that of the 3 Atlantean unit gods here, I think Kronos or Oranos is probably the worst. Like, Gaia could actually be pretty deadly on this map. I mean, you wouldn't have to transition from your mainland to the base for a very long time. Not until the gold runs out, because the wood runs out a lot faster. I mean, you'd have infinite wood on your base. Well, I mean, not infinite, but long enough to probably decide the game. But Age 4 will be up shortly, and I think we will end up just seeing it. It doesn't really matter where. You could put Tartarian on any town center, and it would do damage. Looks like he's going for this one, which is the gold mine here. So we're going to see Tartarian Gate 2 soon, and there it is, used there, and the instant GG from Mr. Pegasus. So that is the series, 3-1. But still some decent games, and I like this map. Vinlandsaga, one of my favorite maps in the game. I wish I could get on my soapbox and talk about it a little bit more, but wish the non-standard maps got more here. And actually, he was ahead in economy there for a while. Yeah, Omega had a good chance, even losing the water. He was ahead, but then getting that town center built, and then he had a ton. Oh no, I'm looking at Joe here. This is Joe losing all of his villies. Or no, never mind. I'm confused. This is Pegasus losing his fishing here is what this is. And this is Joe's fish boom right there. Yeah, both of these were viable. That's what you can do, the land starve or the water aggression first into land. You can do both of them work. I mean, obviously this is one of those maps that's just, I mean, really, there's been so few games played on this. What really is the best strategy? Nobody really knows. But yeah, I think the water into land is viable, and also the straight up land starve is also viable in when you're looking at Oranos versus Oranos. But that's the series for tonight. So let us get back to my summer overlay, and we will update the very last gods here. I need to get back to close my folder here. Just to finish up the stream, we will put our last gods on on our screen here. So nope, that's the wrong one. We're looking for my AOM summer folder. Here we are. So we have Oranos, Game 4, and Oranos. And that is the end of the series with Joe Copy-Paste getting the win on Game 4. So that is 3-1, a win. How many people are left? This was just the first round. There were 33 entries, and this was the round of 32. So after this round, there'll be 16 left. So I'll try to stream a good number of the matches. I kind of switched from RTS League to the 1v1s here, because the one thing with doing the group games from RTS League is that there's just a good number of kind of landslides in RTS League, which make doing all those recorded games not quite so redeeming. And so hopefully we'll get good games in this tournament. And that's what I like about this tournament. I really love that players cannot repeat their god choice, because after the last tournament, the spring tournament, where it was you could just pick the same god every time. So we had, Zeus versus Set, Zeus versus Set, Zeus versus Set every game. Now we can get all these different god choices each series. That was game 4, man. Did you miss a game while you're out eating your food? We might. 12:20. Those 1v1s went pretty quick. Maybe see if I can get a game or something. Anatolia, Mediterranean. Well, you know what? I was going to put that too. Is this just... maybe this just clogs it up too much. I know that almost makes it kind of confusing. Game 5? Why would there be a game 5? Joe won 3-1. What god do you pick on Valley of Kings? Starting tower and mid goals outside the outside goal. I think you start. Do you start with a big gold mine in that map though? You might start in that. Yes, it's over. Another really cool non-standard map is Megalopolis, because it has an extra town center and the map is completely wide with no starting towers. That's also another really cool map. Kronos could probably do some damage there because it's there's nothing. No, I think I'm gonna play. It's been a while since I've played. Oh, you can't choose Megapolis? Why can't you? You sure? Why did he not allow that one in? That's too bad, because that's a really nice map. Nope, not allowed. Allows Valley of Kings, but not Megapolis. That's too bad. It's a really nice game, really nice one. No, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play some games, Mr. Ozone. If there are people in the game or in my chat that want to play, we're in a 3v3 right now. We need 3 more players. The one is the naked stream. You mean shirtless? We can do that. Oh, we need 1 more player. 1 more. No, 2 more. I can't count. We could do a 2v2. I'm pretty happy though. I got my YouTube. My last 2 live streams that didn't show up on YouTube, but I fixed it. I'm pretty high tech over here. Yep, there we are. Oh, you know what though? Their chat isn't showing up in the in my chat here. I need to fix that. Because I got some people chatting in the YouTubes, but I didn't see it. Sorry, guys. I had just a few people. Do I play only on Voobly? Yeah, pretty much. I only play on... if you're still here. I mean, this question was asked at 2.5 hours ago. Now I think all the chat is showing up. All the chat shows up in here now. Dang it. My bad, guys. Now I got it fixed. This guy wants me to come to Serbia. I'd like to go anywhere in Europe, actually. I've never been there. I only play on Voobly. I don't play in Game Ranger. I play not much on Extended Edition. Joe going to get house. He didn't delete one oracle. That was in reference to Vinlandsaga. My bad, guys. I always try to get the YouTubers involved in this. I need 2 more people in this game. There's a guy hosting a 1v1. Stream from the police station. Introduce my coworkers to AOM. They're not into that kind of. Most of them aren't into that. I do play Fortnite with one of my coworkers. Alright, well. Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? Complaints? Why would you have complaints? Who am I kidding? Complaints. Ozone did ask a long time ago who my biggest influencer was in Age of Mythology, and I said Glauk. Beyond Glauk, it really wasn't much of an influencer for me. Because really, once 2004 hit, I kind of was doing my own thing. I switched over to Raw and then did my own stuff. Then I never really... After that, when I left for Age of Empires 3 and came back in like 2010, never really came back. Watched recorded games anyway. I don't know. We might end up just doing a 1v1 or something. Because this 3v3 is now back down to 3 players. What's my worst god? Probably anything Norse. Dang it, get that crap off of here. I don't want to see this scoreboard up there. Thor, probably my worst. Well, I'm playing a 1v1 against this random dude. What god should I be? Been a while since I mean, I guess I did play against Jelly for the tournament and got beat, but other than that, I haven't played a game in like 3 weeks. Let's close down all of my open windows and crap. The god that makes it hardest for myself, Thor it is. What, you just want me to lose? This guy is Ho. H-O-A-H. Ho-ha. 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 Alrighty. Let's see what I can do Thor on Savannah. Yeah, I don't get upset though, man. I'm a happy dude. I'm playing AOM. But the most upset you'll see me is when I'm playing a team game and my allies are like doing diddly squat. Oh, okay, alright. Guess to the gazelle we shall go. Well, I need a... ox carters, or bill on wood, don't I? Oh, hello, goats. 4 goats, oh my goodness. I need to actually get a few whacks on one of these stupid, goaties. So I can get my next, upgrade. Yo, what's up, Haro? You just caught me. I'm playing playing a game. I just got done streaming some tourney matches. There we go. Now I got enough gold to get, or enough favor to get my pig sticker upgrade. You know, I kind of am afraid of centaurs in this situation. Might have to go up with Forsetti. Dwarf on wood, gatherer on food better. Oh, yeah, whatever. Man, there's a lot of goats on this map. I really need to find where I'm at the forward hunt. Oh, here's some more hunt. Because there should be the... You know what? Actually, I don't think there will be giraffe because of the deer. Or gazelle. I think that was a giraffe spawn, was this. So you're gonna get these goats back here. Need to get those before he gets them. So I don't want to send all my vills over here and then up to this. So I feel like I'm like jacking up my eco really hard here. Yeah. Look at that terrible ox cart placement. Okay, once these are done, I'm gonna send these villies up to my rhino. I think I have to go up with not that. Because if you make centaurs, oh my goodness, I don't need 4 on gold, do I? Get up there. Here's 2 more rhinos. I really could have used another, like, hero faster to, Yeah, when are you gonna play? Oh, he went up via Athena too. I should probably send my trolley up there. How would I make villas out of my town center? Alright, alright. Wish I would not have lost that. I need to put a wall or something for my bills to fall back through. These stupid fat hearse here. That stupid throwing axeman. Get the... There we go. Okay, where's his villas? What is all this? Should really be killing my It's a terrible wall. Aha! I feel like I've had a ton of idle build time.
Hver þar? Veiðimaður. Skipan? Samþykkt. Ég vil.
Skipan? Já. Ég vil. Tilbúin? Já. Samþykkt? Já.
Wish I had like
Tilbúin?
Samþykkt. Satt. Satt.
Skipan? Ég vil. Skipan?
Já. Ég vil.
Já.
okay, nothing up there. Oh, you might be down here.
Hver þar?
Tilbúin. Ég vil. Samþykkt.
Já. Tilbúin? Samþykkt? Tilbúin? Já. Tilbúin? Já. Skipan? Já. Samþykkt? Ég vil. Já. Samþykkt?
Kill the vills.
Skipan orustuslag. Hver þar? Samþykkt? Já. Ég vil. Tilbúin? Já. Tilbúin? Samþykkt? Já. Samþykkt? Skipan? Samþykkt? Hver þar? Skipan? Já. Ég vil. Já.
Skipan?
Já. Já. Tilbúin? Tilbúin? Samþykkt? Já. Skipan? Samþykkt?
Could probably
Já.
get on that army and surround it.
Hver þar? Hver þar? Samþykkt?
Whoa, I need houses. House, 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 house.
Skipan? Ég vil. Skipan? Skipan, já, tilbúin. Samþykkt. Skipan. Skipan, já. Hver er það? Skipi, tilbúin. Samþykkt.
I thought I'd sent another ox cart up there. Where did it go?
Já, samþykkt. Skipan. Já, já, já. Skip, samþykkt. Skipan, já, satt, samþykkt. Satt. Tilbúin, já. Ég vil. Samþykkt. Já, já. Til, já. Orustuslag. Já, ég vil. Samþykkt. Já, samþykkt. Skipan, já. Já, samþykkt. Já, orustuslag. Já, ég vil. Ég vil. Já, 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 skipan, samþykkt. Ég vil. Ég samþykkt. Já.
Dang it, and I lost my temple.
Ég vil. Skipan. Tilbúin. Já, samþykkt.
Skipan? Hver er það? Timbursveit. Grjótsveit. Samþykkt.
Skipan. Já, tilbúin. Samþykkt. Bæting fram. Já, samþykkt. Já. Tilbúin. Ég vil. Já. Tilbúin. Ég vil. Já, ég vil. Já, ég vil.
Oh, jeez.
Hver er þar? Ég vil. Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Já, samþykkt.
Já, ég vil.
Já. Hver er það? Skipan. Samþykkt.
Doesn't have enough,
Skipan. Samþykkt. Fram. Já. Hver er þar? Já. Tilbúin. Hver er þar? Já.
army units, so...
Já.
Like hoplites?
Samþykkt.
Or maybe he does.
Já. Skipan. Já. Samþykkt. Skipan. Já.
Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Já, samþykkt.
Skipan.
Hver er það? Samþykkt. Ádráð. Tilbúin.
Skipan. Hver er þar? Skipan.
Get out of here with all this trash.
Tilbúin.
Timbursveit.
Já. Samþykkt. Hver er það? Skipan. Já. Samþykkt. Já. Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Já. Hver er það? Tilbúin. Já. Samþykkt.
All is not lost.
Skipan. Tilbúin. Já. Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Skipan. Já. Ég vil.
Já, samþykkt. Grjótsveit.
Tilbúin. Til orusturslag. Já. Ég vil. Ég vil. Tilbúin.
Hver er það?
Look at that random farm there.
Skipan. Tilbúin. Já.
You know what? I should have grabbed this town center.
Hver er það? Ég vil. Samþykkt. Já. Hver er það? Hver er það? Tilbúin. Já. Skipan.
Well, now I will.
Ég vil. Já. Samþykkt. Ég vil.
He's gonna be on that town center.
Hver er það? Satt.
Skipan. Já. Já.
What rating is this guy? Like 1500, 1600?
Samþykkt. Skipan. Samþykkt. Já. Samþykkt. Til orusturslag. Til orusturslag. Skipan. Já. Ég vil. Skipan.
Skipan? Samþykkt. Ég vil.
Tilbúin. Já. Samþykkt. Ég vil.
Tilbúin? Já, timbursveit.
Skipan. Sækið fram.
Já, samþykkt.
Skipan. Sækið fram.
Skipan.
Já. Samþykkt. Já. Samþykkt.
You back? Yeah, he's back.
Orustusslag. Já. Samþykkt. Ég vil. Skipan. Skipan. Ég vil. Samþykkt. Já. Samþykkt. Ég vil. Skipan.
I think I got this. You guys talking trash about me.
Hver þar? Til ég vil. Hver þar? Satt.
Tilbúin. Já. Tilbúin. Skipan.
Tilbúin? Hver þar?
Ég vil. Satt. Samþykkt. Tilbúin.
Hver þar? Já.
Skipan. Já. Já. Samþykkt. Tilbúin.
Tilbúin.
Já.
What are you guys talking about anyway?
Já. Orustusslag. Tilbúin. Orustusslag.
Ég vil.
Já. Samþykkt. Já. Tilbúin.
Oh, this is a bad fight.
Skipan. Samþykkt.
Já. Já. Hver þar? Já, samþykkt.
Tilbúin. Já.
Já.
Já, ég vil. Tilbúin. Timbursveit.
Tilbúin?
Satt. Timbursveit.
Tilbúin. Já. Samþykkt. Já. Ég vil. Já. Samþykkt. Ég vil. Samþykkt. Tilbúin. Já. Samþykkt. Skipan. Samþykkt. Samþykkt. Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Ég vil. Tilbúin. Já. Skipan. Orustusslag.
Hver þar?
Come on. I need 40 wood.
Satt.
Skipan. Já. Samþykkt. Já. Samþykkt.
If he attacks my town center right now, it could be kind of bad.
Tilbúin. Tilbúin. Orustusslag. Tilbúin. Samþykkt.
Just what I thought.
Skipan. Já. Timbursveit.
Hver þar?
Tilbúin. Til orustusslag. Já. Tilbúin. Tilbúin. Já.
Take one town center, lose the other.
Orustusslag.
Já. Satt.
Já. Samþykkt. Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Tilbúin.
Oh man, he's up.
Tilbúin. Samþykkt.
Just have no eco.
Skipan. Timbursveit.
My base. Look at this base.
Já. Ég vil. Til orustusslag. Tilbúin. Ég vil. Skipan. Já. Samþykkt. Tilbúin. Samþykkt.
Skipan. Samþykkt.
Tilbúin? Samþykkt? Já.
Skipan.
Tilbúin? Samþykkt?
Man, this guy's even getting
Tilbúin. Rjómsveit.
Hver þar?
Skipan. Já. Samþykkt. Já. Samþykkt. Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Já. Skipan. Já.
Tilbúin? Já.
Já, ég vil. Satt.
Tilbúin.
Satt.
Skipan. Ég vil. Samþykkt. Já. Sækið orustusslag. Já. Til orustusslag. Skipan. Já. Samþykkt. Tilbúin. Ég vil. Skipan.
okay, now it's looking a little grim. I need to wall off a little bit
Já,
more
timbursveit.
so that I could
Samþykkt.
Skipan.
not lose my town center there.
Já. Skipan. Já. Já.
Já. Samþykkt. Tilbúin. Já. Samþykkt.
I thought I told these guys to run.
Ég vil.
Guarantee I did.
Já. Ég vil.
Já. Til orustusslag. Fram.
Ég vil. Já. Samþykkt. Samþykkt.
Tilbúin. Skipan. Já. Samþykkt. Ég vil. Skipan. Já. Ég vil.
Hver þar?
Skipan. Já, tilbúin. Samþykkt. Skipan. Samþykkt. Orrustuslag. Tilbúin.
Why do they come out on the wrong side of this town center? Yeah, most people prefer water maps.
Já,
Tilbúin. Já, tilbúin. Já, til orrustuslag. Tilbúin. Tilbúin. Skipan. Já, tilbúin. Skipan. Til orrustuslag. Skipan. Samþykkt.
This man is up here.
tilbúin. Samþykkt. Ég vil.
I guess I should have predicted that he would
Já, til orrustuslag.
try to do the old
Já. Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Skipan. Já.
what do you call it?
Atrás.
Athena? Athena push?
Já, til orrustuslag. Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Fram. Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Ég vil. Skipan. Samþykkt. Skipan. Ég vil.
Hver er það? Tilbúin? Já, ég vil. Hver er það? Já, ég vil.
Tilbúin. Til orrustuslag.
Já,
Já, ég vil. Til orrustuslag.
I don't even have a temple.
Já, satt. Tilbúin.
Tilbúin. Já, samþykkt. Samþykkt. Ég vil.
Skipan.
Skipan. Samþykkt. Sækið fram.
Já, atrás.
Tilbúin.
Skilla has lived forever. Is my headset broken? Yes, it is. That's what happens when you have kids. You can't have anything nice.
Tilbúin. Sækið fram. Ég vil. Samþykkt. Atrás. Orrustuslag. Sækið fram. Til orrustuslag. Já, til orrustuslag.
Já, samþykkt.
Já, satt. Grjótsveit.
Já, tilbúin.
This guy's micro is like absolute crap too. I guess I might as well resign. You know, I don't think this game is going anywhere. I just got I needed a wall better.
Skipan.
Hver er það? Tilbúin. Samþykkt.
Because when I went down here to build this one, he then killed
Skipan.
my other
Tilbúin.
he then killed my other town center. So we'll resign, but that was kind of exciting. But yeah, not walling up here kind of led him to be able to kill my town centers over and over, and even losing this one, I had a good army just to get out of position. 'Cause, yeah, economically I was pretty close. He's not this far ahead in eco. This is just the graph showing him getting resources back. But yeah, like my kill loss ratio was so much better. But yeah, so I got duct tape on this here, which is kind of, I gotta reduct tape it every month or so. So I mean, when you have a headset like this and you grab this and you grab this end and you pull opposite directions like this, eventually one side will break, and that's what happened. Such is life. Kids are awesome, though. They really are. Well, this isn't the right one. You know what? I'm gonna have to fix my overlay, won't I? No, that's the wrong thing. Oh, he wants to play again. This guy. What god this time? So I was Thor. Which one this time? You want me to be Loki? It feels like it could be a huge train wreck. if I go Loki? Oranos set. Beat with the Bill. You can't Bill rush a Zeus. Ra would be too easy. Even set would be too easy. I'm talking big talk. Villager rush disrespect. I actually wasn't that far from winning last game. I just needed a wall. I'll crush him with set, why not? Crush him. Now what happens if I don't crush him? Or don't even win? That would be embarrassing. Watch it be like Medit or something. Alfheim. Okay, I should be able to win this pretty easily. The best thing he can do is use Bolt on my starting priest. Yeah, most of the guides online are kind of outdated. That's kind of a problem. Unless you want a guide from 2004. Wow, I'm finding lots of sheepies. Did I not get hunting dogs? Oh my goodness. Yeah, there are some strange old guides. I need to get this thing back to where he's supposed to be, which that is not where he was supposed to go. Oh my goodness. That one stupid Bill really screwed things. I should have some deer somewhere. Probably won't be up there though. Alright, yeah. No, it'll work. You can direct hunt. They'll generally run the opposite direction that they're getting attacked, but that's not a for sure thing. Or are you talking about something else? Oh, this game is a train wreck actually. Look at my build. Oh, Bill Rush at Eggy War. Okay. Yeah, that won't ever work. Bill Rush, you can only Bill Rush Atlantean. I wanted to get pickaxe. See, look.
Bea. Image erect.
Okay. C. Watch and learn from, as in what not to do. Which so far this build is what not to do.
Enito, tayo, and which, tayo, UIR.
Oh yeah, I got this. Don't worry. He's gonna expect the 430 up. Like an idiot. What little does he know? I'm looking more at the 530 up. Oh, ho, ho, ho. That's good. Not good.
Antio ak UAR. Inagir. Erifir. Inagirek. Tayo.
Gereg. Image erect. UER. Ak. UER.
If I were up, I would be killing those hunting bills right now. I could force maybe the ceasefire by shifting.
And are you repair?
NUER. Tayo.
In UAR. Jirek. Antio. Antio. Jirek.
Cool, he wasted his bolt.
NTO. Ak.
I could have maybe.
Greek,
Oops. Run away.
NTO. Ak.
Look at him shooting those poor deer.
NTO. Image erect. Ak. Image erect. Gereg. Nu. Gereg. Ak. Nu.
Winning RTS League with Magic.
NTO.
Has Magic even ever won RTS League? I'm just gonna wall that and wall that, and we'll call it a day.
Greek,
Antio. UAR.
Wedge.
Look at all these vills that are gonna be idle now.
In wedge.
Whatever, just kill that.
NTO. Gereg. Nu.
Enito, tayo, IR.
Image erect. In wedge. Nu. NTO. Nu.
This is the slowest fast heroic in the history of the game. I've even got double armories too.
Greek. And which UIR.
Really fast heroic. I might lose this set.
Image erect. Erect. Pro en UER. Image erect. Yawet. Image erect. Yawet. Image
It is. It's all for the show, guys. Well, I don't want to. I don't want to do set. I'm just doing what people tell me to do. See, that's part of the fun. I still need to wall that off.
In wedge.
You know what? I'm just letting him have a feel like he has a chance. You have to set it up in your user con, the hot garrison thing. How do AKA works? Well, basically it just is able to, you know, connect your other accounts. So it'll show your highest approximate rating. Like it'll round down, I think, to like 1750 or whatever.
Antio.
Okay, so that's a bug with how the game works. In order to do that, you just have to send them. Like if I send my Vil, not the highest all time, the highest current. Hold on, let me explain this, dude. So if I send my Vil straight to here and click over here, he'll go back to the gold mine. However, what you have to do in order to reset that, why is that guy here, is you have to just task him to something else. So if I just do this and then put him in on the next thing, he will go where I need him to go. It's the re-clicking that resets that. If that makes sense, hopefully.
Antio. UAE.
He should have been at a third town center. I'm just walling this so I can't get flanked. Yeah, you can. You can tell what Smurfs are. But I build my last house. This bone bow technology and the ram technology are so good. I don't know where his Vils are to kill my siege. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. Pretty much all you need to do is know what their approximate rate is.
Into you.
Yeah, I did all the damage. Did you know that this scarab does damage when he dies? Look at this guy, idiot. I told you he has terrible micro. Look at this. What is with that down there? What? What are you laughing at? You see this? I slaughtered this dude. I played awful. The scarab dies during eclipse. Does it do more damage? I don't think so. Because I don't... Oh, you're laughing at him attacking the town center. It was a very bold thing. Well, that's getting high tech. The death replacement. Yeah, he should go. I mean, he could win that, but he needs to do a 3 town center. I think he was very slow to get his 3rd town center. Yeah, he should just kind of do immediate 3 town center and then just boom up. How can you play on Voobly when you have the Steam version? You can't. You need the original. There are places online where it can be found. Any 3v3s? I mean, all for playing 1v1s over and over, but arrows. How can I download? Which god for this game? I might do like 1 more game or 2 and then be done. So yeah, Egyptian's easy. You can screw up the first half of the game and it still works fine. There's another one. Strategy game videos, I think, has a video for it. How to play in Windows 10, I think. Oh, Poseidon time. Yeah. Any news about patch updates? Nah, there's some rumblings in the forum like 3 months ago, but nobody could agree on what needed to be changed, so it kind of just dissipated into smoke. Oh, Zeus. I like this map. This is a good map. Not Egyptian. What do I... Yeah, I mean, the problem is with him losing 2 vills and then idle, he gets behind eco. Where's the cast? You missed it, big guy. It was at the beginning. So if you want to watch it, you can watch the VOD. You heard Loki's gonna be nerfed? I don't think so. It's like high school. All these rumors. I heard that nothing is gonna happen right now because there is no consensus on anything. Venge with the Venge Worm with the follow. Appreciate it, big guy. What is this relic? Infantry have more hack armor. Well, this one. Improves line of sight on all units. Ooh, I like that one. Hi, I'm new. Hey, new. Is my YouTube chat working? I don't know if it's still working or not. If anybody's in YouTube, try hooding something and seeing if it shows up there. Adventures. Alright, here's my forward town center. Does it have any hunt by it? Can I get... You think it's worth the risk trying to get forward town center as Poseidon here? Man, it doesn't protect anything. Oh, okay, it does get that gold mine back there. My vills really did a terrible job of killing these deer. Look at this. This is like as inefficient of wood gathering as you can get. I don't think FH to me and Lion against the god with some of the best heroes in the game is gonna work.
Πρόσεχε. Βούλομαι. Μάλιστα. Πρόσεχε. Ναι.
The problem if you do like 2 patches is then it just becomes confusing. Like if you separate it for team game and 1v1, that just would become ultimately so confusing to remember what is what.
Πρόσεχε.
How long has my town center been idle?
Πρόσεχε. Θρητόμος.
Πρόσεχε.
I really want this cavalry relic. Yeah. It's easy to blame the vills.
Έτοιμος. Θηρευτής.
Λέγε. Ναι.
Έτοιμος. Πάνι. Πάνι. Ορθός. Βούλομαι. Βούλομαι. Λέγε. Ορθός. Πάνι. Βούλομαι. Πάνι. Ορθός. Πάνι. Ορθός. Βούλομαι. Πάνι. Πάνι. Βούλομαι.
Okay. Surprised he didn't get that. I'm gonna get this one too. Hopefully.
Βούλομαι. Ορθός.
Λέγε.
Πρόσταγμα. Μάλιστα. Έστω. Μάλιστα. Βούλομαι.
It's a bit risky getting a forward town center. We'll see how it goes.
Πρόσεχε. Έστω.
Έστω. Ναι.
Πάνι. Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμη. Μάλιστα.
It's a good relic.
Πρόσεχε. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε. Μάλιστα.
Λέγε. Πάνι. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε. Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμος.
Ναι.
Πρόσταγμα. Θηρευτής.
Πρόσταγμα. Έστω. Ναι.
Έτοιμος. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι. Μάλιστα. Βούλομαι.
Λέγε. Βούλομαι. Πρόσταγμα. Ορθός. Βούλομαι. Πάνι. Πάνι.
Πρόσεχε. Μάλιστα.
Έτοιμος. Πάνι. Πάνι.
Πρόσταγμα. Μάλιστα.
Λέγε. Έτοιμος. Λέγε.
I need to keep him there.
Ορθός. Έτοιμος. Ορθός. Βούλομαι. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε. Βούλομαι.
Oh, so he's doing the...
Έτοιμος. Βούλομαι.
He's got line of sight of this. He's doing the centaurs. It's actually very good that I got the...
Ετοίμος. Έστω. Μάλιστα.
Λέγε.
Ετοίμος.
Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσταγμα. Ναι. Πρόσταγμα. Θηρευτής. Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε.
Λέγε. Ναι. Μάλιστα. Έστω. Βούλο. Μάλιστα.
Πρόσεχε.
Ετοίμος. Μάλιστα.
Βούλομαι. Μεταλλεύσεις.
Πρόσεχε όμως.
Πρόσταγμα. Έστω. Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμος. Μάλιστα.
Very glad I got that faster hero relic.
Μάλιστα.
It's gonna come in very handy.
Βούλομαι.
Πρόσταγμα. Ναι. Βούλω. Έστω. Πρόσεχε. Εισβολή.
Έτοιμη.
Πρόσταγμα. Εισβολή.
Πρόσταγμα. Ναι. Μεταλλεύς. Λέγε. Έτοιμη. Ναι.
Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσταγμα. Πρόσταγμα. Εισβολή.
Πρόσταγμα. Έστω. Θηρευτής.
Πρόσεχε. Βούλομαι.
What is going on with my starting vills here?
Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσταγμα. Έστω.
Λέγε. Ναι. Λέγε.
Πρόσεχε. Καλώς.
Έτοιμη. Πρόσταγμα. Μάλιστα.
Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσεχε. Καλώς.
Λέγε.
Έτοιμη. Πρόσταγμα. Ναι. Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι.
Ετοίμος.
Πρόσεχε.
Λέγε. Ναι.
Πρόσεχε. Μάλιστα. Θηρευτής.
Λέγε.
Μάλιστα.
Ετοίμος. Μάλιστα. Ναι. Πρόσεχε. Ναι.
Λέγε.
Λέγε.
Έτοιμος.
Is that boy really gonna come running all the way?
Λέγε.
I really do need to finish that off. Think of Billie Eilish, Chrono? Who in the world is Billie Eilish?
Λέγε.
Ετοίμος. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσταγμα. Πρόσταγμα. Μάλιστα.
Λέγε. Ναι.
Έτοιμο. Βούλομαι. Πρόσεχε. Βούλομαι.
Ετοίμος. Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμη. Πρόσεχε. Λέγε. Ναι.
Λέγε. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε. Θηρευτής.
Λέγε. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε. Εις μάχην.
Some 12-year-old singer.
Πρόσεχε.
Why did they not finish that wall?
Λέγε. Έστω.
Έτοιμος.
Έτοιμη.
Πρόσεχε.
Again, not finishing that wall is really gonna hurt.
Μάλιστα. Πρόσταγμα.
Λέγε. Βούλομαι.
Λέγε. Έστω. Βούλομαι.
This is the power of Zeus. It's just how much damage you can do as
Ετοίμος. Καλώς. Πρόσεχε.
with centaurs.
Λέγε.
Πρόσταγμα. Εισβολή.
Πρόσεχε.
Like, just not being able to finish that wall,
Πρόσεχε. Καλώς.
just so huge.
Έτοιμος.
Πρόσταγμα. Εισβολή.
Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμη.
Πρόσεχε. Έτοιμος. Έτοιμος. Ναι. Βούλομαι. Βούλομαι.
Ετοίμος.
Έτοιμος. Έστω.
Έτοιμη. Μάλιστα. Μάλιστα. Θηρευτής.
Not that I've like really played exceptionally well.
Ναι. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσταγμα. Έστω.
Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Βούλομαι. Ναι. Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος.
Πρόσεχε.
Λέγε. Θρητόμος. Έστω. Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι. Έστω. Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε. Μάλιστα.
Πρόσεχε.
Έτοιμος. Ναι. Λέγε. Πρόσεχε. Ναι. Έστω. Βούλομαι. Έστω. Λέγε. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε.
Λέγε. Μάλιστα. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε. Βούλομαι. Μάλιστα.
Έτοιμος.
Πρόσεχε.
Λέγε. Ναι. Μεταλλεύς.
Πρόσταγμα. Μάλιστα. Έστω.
Ετοίμος.
Λέγε. Μάλιστα.
It's just not the best of town center locations.
Ναι. Μάλιστα.
'Cause it doesn't really protect anything. Like his town center forward was so much better than mine because it protects all of that.
Λέγε. Έστω.
Λέγε. Μάλιστα. Μεταλλεύς. Ναι. Μάλιστα. Ναι.
Πρόσταγμα. Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι.
Μεταλλεύς.
Πρόσταγμα.
Λέγε. Μάλιστα. Καλώς.
Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι. Ορθός. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε. Καλώς.
Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσταγμα.
Έτοιμη. Ορθός. Καλώς. Εις μάχην.
Get out of here with this trash.
Εις μάχην.
Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε. Καλώς.
Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε. Ναι, βούλομαι.
Λέγε εισβολή.
Καλώς, μάχη.
Έτοιμος. Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι. Έτοιμος. Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμος, ναι.
Ορθός.
Μάλιστα. Υπηρετής.
Ναι. Έστω ηρευτής. Ναι. Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Ναι. Πρόσταγμα. Μάλιστα. Μάλιστα. Έστω. Λέγε.
Ορθός. Λέγε βούλομαι. Έτοιμος.
Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε. Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμος. Ορθός. Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι. Βούλομαι. Λέγε πάνι. Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος. Βούλομαι. Έστω.
Sure, I deleted my own piggy pig.
Έτοιμος. Ορθός. Έτοιμος. Βούλομαι. Βούλομαι. Βούλομαι.
I see you.
Καλώς. Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος.
Μάλιστα.
Έτοιμος. Πρόσεχε, βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε.
Really need to finish that wall though.
Πρόσεχε. Μάλιστα.
Πρόσταγμα.
Έτοιμος. Καλώς. Έτοιμος. Βούλομαι. Πρόσταγμα. Εισβολή. Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμος.
Πρόσεχε. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσταγμα.
Λέγε μάχη. Βούλομαι. Λέγε βούλομαι. Βούλομαι. Καλώς. Πρόσταγμα. Πάνι. Πάνι. Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι. Λέγε ορθός. Βούλομαι. Πάνι. Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσεχε.
Πρόσεχε.
Ναι. Βρυτόμος. Έτοιμη. Μάλιστα.
Έτοιμος.
How long has he been at 3? What time do you think I'll resign? Just for that, I'm not gonna resign. He's gonna have to delete every single unit of mine.
Λέγε.
Λέγε. Μάλιστα.
Βούλομαι. Βρυτόμος. Μάλιστα.
Εισβολή.
Έτοιμος.
Πρόσταγμα. Μάλιστα.
Λέγε.
Έτοιμος. Πρόσεχε.
Λέγε ορθός. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε. Μάλιστα. Πρόσεχε. Βούλομαι. Μάλιστα. Λεύς.
Έτοιμη. Βούλομαι.
So you know these villas are up here?
Μάλιστα. Ναι. Έστω.
Πρόσεχε. Έστω.
Βούλομαι. Μάλιστα.
Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι. Ορθός. Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμος. Ναι. Μάλιστα. Έστω. Βούλομαι. Έστω.
It's a game we shall play.
Πρόσταγμα.
Έτοιμος. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσταγμα. Πρόσεχε. Ναι. Βούλομαι. Μάλιστα. Ναι. Μάλιστα. Βούλομαι. Βούλομαι. Λέγε. Ναι. Πρόσεχε. Βούλομαι. Πρόσταγμα. Φρυτόμος.
Λέγε πρόσταγμα.
Jeez, how many Ibicon have I wasted?
Λέγε βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε. Ναι. 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 Βούλομαι. Ναι. Πρόσεχε. Ναι. Πρόσεχε. Έστω.
Λέγε. Ναι. Μάλιστα.
Πρόσταγμα. Ορθός. Βούλομαι. Ορθός. 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 Πάνι. Πάνι. Λέγε
Πρόσταγμα.
Like I would love to attack his
πρόσταγμα. Ορθός. Πάνι.
miners there, but there's just no chance. Also, the line of sight that he has right now with his centaurs is just huge.
Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσταγμα.
Λέγε. Μεταλλεύς.
Πρόσταγμα. Ορθός. Ορθός. Πάνι. Ορθός.
Πρόσεχε. Βούλομαι. Μάλιστα. Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμος.
I think really I might as well. I should have just gotten my back town center.
Βούλομαι. Έτοιμος. Λέγε βούλομαι. Βούλομαι. Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι. Λέγε βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε. Μάλιστα. Έστω. Μάλιστα. Έστω. Μάλιστα. Ναι. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσταγμα. Πάνι. Ορθός. Βούλομαι. Βούλομαι. Χώρο. Καλός. Πρόσταγμα. Ορθός. Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε χώρος. Μάχη. Έτοιμος. Βούλομαι. Πρόσταγμα. Χώρος. Έτοιμος. Χώρο. Πρόσταγμα. Πρόσταγμα. Βολή. Λέγε καλός.
Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσταγμα. Μάλιστα. Βρυτόμος. Έστω.
Λέγε βούλομαι. Ορθός. Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι.
Λέγε. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε. Έστω. Βούλομαι. Βούλομαι. Έστω. Πρόσταγμα. Έστω. Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμος. Βούλομαι. Βούλομαι. Πρόσταγμα. Ορθώς. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσταγμα. Έστω.
Why in the world would Hippocon be nerfed? Just say some crazy talk in this chat sometimes.
Έτοιμος. Πάνω. Βούλομαι.
Λέγε. Βούλος.
Έστω.
Έτοιμος.
Έστω.
Έτοιμος.
Πρόσταγμα. Πάνι.
Πρόσταγμα. Ναι.
Πρόσεχε. Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι. Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμος. Βούλομαι. Πόρος. Εισβολή. Λέγε. Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Λέγε. Βούλομαι. Βούλομαι. Ορθώς. Πάνι. Έτοιμος. Ορθώς. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσταγμα. Καλώς. Μάχη. Λέει. Πρόσταγμα. Μάχη. Λέει.
Sapalata misses like 20 shots.
Βούλομαι. Ορθώς. Πάνι. Ορθώς.
All of my cat Hippocon just keep dying for no reason.
Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε.
Because the building, the other techs are so strong.
Βούλομαι. Μάλιστα.
Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσταγμα. Μάλιστα. Μάλιστα.
Λέγε.
Πρόσεχε. Ρητόμος. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε. Βούλομαι. Ναι, βούλομαι.
Oh, it's expensive. Oh yeah.
Μάλιστα.
Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι. Βούλομαι. Βούλομαι.
Getting all my building upgrades.
Έτοιμος. Εισβολή.
Λέγε. Εισβολή.
Λέγε. Εισβολή.
Πρόσεχε.
Λέγε. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι. Καλό. Εισβολή.
Πρόσταγμα. Μάχη.
Πρόσεχε. Βούλομαι.
Λέγε. Ναι. Βούλαμε. Έστω.
Έτοιμος. Βούλομαι. Μάχη.
Λέγε.
Πρόσεχε. Πρόσταγμα. Μάλιστα.
Ετοίμος. Εισβολή.
Λέγε. Ορθώς. Βούλομαι. Λέγε. Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμος. Εισβολή. Πρόσταγμα. Καλώς.
Έτοιμη. Μάλιστα.
Έτοιμος. Βούλομαι.
Λέγε. Μάχη.
Βούλαμε. Βούλαμε.
Λέγε. Έτοιμος.
Έτοιμος. Εισβολή.
Μάλιστα. Ναι.
Πρόσταγμα. Μάχη.
Πρόσταγμα. Μάλιστα.
Λέγε.
Whoa.
Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμο. Μάλιστα. Λέγε.
Πρόσταγμα.
Βούλαμε. Λέγε.
Ισμάχη. Ορθώς. Βούλομαι.
Έτοιμη. Ναι.
I knew it. Used it too late.
Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι. Μάλιστα.
Λέγε. Βούλομαι. Έτοιμος. Ορθώς. Βούλομαι. Πάνι. Πάνι.
Λέγε. Μάλιστα.
Έτοιμος.
Έτοιμος. Βούλομαι.
Question is, how am I going to defend that?
Βούλομαι. Λέγε. Μάλιστα.
Πρόσταγμα όμως.
Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος. Ορθώς. Έτοιμος. Βούλομαι. Ορθώς. Ορθώς. Πάνι. 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 Βούλομαι. Πάνι. Βούλομαι. Πάνι. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε.
Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Μάχη.
Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσεχε. Μάλιστα.
Πρόσεχε. Πρόσταγμα.
Όρος, Ισμάκη, λέγε. Καλός, βολή, Ισμάκη. Λέγε. Ισμάκη, έτοιμο, καλός.
Λέγε.
Εισβολή.
Έτοιμο. Μάλιστα. Έτοιμο. Έστω. Ναι. Βούλο. Έστω. Καλές.
Πρόσταγμα, πρόσταγμα, βούλωμα.
Λέγε. Έστω. Έτοιμη.
Πρόσταγμα, λέγε. Ορθός. Λέγε. Βούλωμα.
I like no eco. The problem is if I go up with Earthquake too, I don't have any eco like later on.
Έστω.
Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσεχε.
Έτοιμο. Καλός.
Έτοιμο.
Έτοιμη. Εισβολή. Έστω. Πρόσταγμα. Ναι. Ναι. Πρόσταγμα. Ναι. Έτοιμη. Έτοιμη.
Έτοιμο.
I call my Vils died.
Λέγε. Εισβολή.
Έτοιμος.
Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσταγμα, εισβολή.
Πρόσεχε. Καλές.
Λέγε. Ορθός. Ισμάκη. Όρο.
Έτοιμη. Ναι.
Man, yeah.
Λέγε. Ορθός.
Λέγε. Εισβολή.
Λέγε.
Τι μάλιστα.
Ναι.
I'd probably just do use get the back gold mine first. Getting the front one just put me to like 2 spread out early on in the game, so like my heroes had to defend both here and up here, which resulted in just a ton of Vils dying. Whereas if I get this town center, I don't have to like defend anywhere other than just my right here. I don't have to do a two base defend, and then I can do that and then just get this town center later on, because this town center didn't even give me any hunt at all. Otherwise I have to just because well, look at my civvy count. Like it's just way behind just because of all the Vils that I lost. Mainly because of that, but also because I didn't wall fast enough either. And then that just gets him just ahead economically, and then he just advances faster. That is that. It's just grabbing the wrong town center just led to the majority of those problems. Life goes on. Probably one more. Which God for this last game. Well, I mean, Poseidon versus Zeus is kind of a rough matchup anyway. I mean, the Lions, I don't know. I don't know if the fast heroic for Lions really... Yeah, I mean, it's 1,300 resources just to throw down more resources into more, you know, because then I gotta pray to get all those Lions. I mean, really, his centaurs don't do much damage to me if I don't grab that forward town center, because then everything else is defended, especially with the relic that I had that made him walk faster. But Hippolyta, she also misses just about everything. Oh, go Addy. You know what? We'll do that. Not Oranos, so Oranos is boring. So yeah, we'll go Atlantia this time. Oh, well, you're right. FH does give me Atlanta. But still, I don't know. You're just spending 1,300 resources just to counter the centaurs, and then he can just get town centers. Like, the problem is that Zeus, in that matchup, Zeus is the one who kind of dictates what's happening. And Poseidon is more so just like responding. So if he starts centaurs and then I respond by going fast heroic, then he can just boom. But I don't know. I mean, it would, whatever would work much better than what I did do. A double gold mine makes the 330 rush a little bit weaker here. Hit the boar. So the question is, do I do the 330 or do I do something else? It's a nasty little wall gap in the forest right there, I think. Yeah, that sucks. And then he also gets the too close boar as well. Yeah, that's a good idea, Sigma. So then I can say I played each culture against this feller. I think I will do the 330. Oh, not with that guy though. Dang it. So what I can do is pressure right there with... I can use the prom for this. The oracles on that. That way I'm getting all of this idle. Both this and this idle at the same time.
Yuji, Mak, Osto.
Bureji, Bureji, Yuji,
Burek, Bayan.
Epjos,
Skopos.
Burek, also Mak, most item. Herjos,
Maybe a little too early, but I don't know. Too late actually. I need to get on this house.
Bureji, Burek,
Ooh, that's huge. Losing his centaur like that.
Skopos, lost. Burek, Mak, is lost. Skopos, Yuji. Skopos, Yuji, lost. Skopos, Yuji, lost.
Skopos. Yuji.
Skopos,
I saw a boar up here.
Osto. Schwest.
Burek, is lost. Mak, Yuji, lost.
Yuji. Yuji. Osto. Diat.
Yuji, is lost. Burek, Yuji. Burek, is lost. Skopos, Burek, Skopos, is lost.
Yeah, sometimes I do smart things. Once in a while. I want to move this down though, so I have line of sight with that.
Yuji, lost. Yuji, Mak, Yuji. Skopos, is lost. Yuji, also, Skopos, Yuji, is lost. Yuji. Skopos, Burek, Yuji, lost. Skopos, lost. Skopos,
Burek. Eschloss. Mak. Schwest.
Yuji, Mak, Yuji, lost. Skopos, Yuji, Mak, Yuji, a poro fras. Skopos, Yuji, lost. Herjos,
Burek. Burek. Mak. Schwest.
Whoa.
Skopos, lost. Burek, a poro fras. Skopos, Burek, Yuji, Mak. Skopos,
Herjos. Osto. Eschloss. Diat.
Skopos, lost. Yuji, Mak. Skopos, Burek, Yuji. Yuji, lost. Yuji. Tilis Moke. Yuji. Yuji, poro fras. Skopos, Yuji, Mak, Yuji. Burek. Burek,
Probably should try to like pick these units off though.
Burek, Burek, Bure. Schloss. Mak. Bure. 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 Mak. Bure.
Okay, his only gold is down there. It'll probably be a while though before he needs to use and get gold though.
Bure.
Skopos. Yuji.
Bure. Schloss. Schloss. Bure. Schloss. Mak. Bure. Schloss. Dilis moke. Schloss.
Least I can do is kill the boar.
Mos intem. Mos intem.
Bure. Dilis moke. Schloss. Bure. Mak. Schloss. Mak. Schloss.
Shoot the front one, hit the back one. Not quite enough. So these are mainly just for line of sight.
Skopos. Yuji.
Hello, Airtrees. My friend too.
Skopos. Osto. Bure. Jos. Yuji. Yuji. Mos intem. Bure. Yuji. Skopos. Yuji.
Look at this army. Alright, I'm not sure what he's really going to do at this point.
Kerjos. Mak. Osto. Mos intem.
He's only at one town center still.
Kerjos.
Where's my hero down here? We'll bring him over here.
Yuji. 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 Osto.
Where'd he go?
Yuji, Marsh.
Skopos. Burek. Kerjos. Yuji.
Burek. Eshnos. Yuji.
What's he gonna do? I mean,
Burek.
Burek. Most intel.
Yuji. Yuji. Skopos. Marsh.
Burek. Yuji. Osto.
Yuji. Burek. Yuji.
killing the polar bear.
Kerjos. Lost.
Yuji, Mark.
Marsh. Yuji. Burek. Yuji.
Skopos.
Skopos. Yuji.
Skopos.
Burek. Burek. Yuji. Skopos. Yuji. Burek.
Burek. Eshnos. Yuji.
Skopos. Burek. Burek. Yuji. Skopos. Eporofras. Eporofras.
Yuji. Yuji.
Skopos. Burek. Skopos. Skopos. Burek. Skopos.
Osto.
Yeah. I feel like he could have responded a little bit better to the early pressure. Like what was his advance time? Yeah, 4:30 is actually pretty quick. But just the early pressure hurt him a lot, and he was really slow to get centaurs out. And then he just never, I mean, he never got out of his base.
Kerjos.
Look at these three vills. What in the world are they doing over there like that?
Kerjos.
Well, that is the GG. Actually kept up okay in eco, but I mean it's Kronos rush, so my eco sucks. I was a little bit slow to like fall off, and I made like too many Terma for too long. I needed to kind of transition a little bit into more of a Mermillo thing. What was the other relic? Oh.
Skopos.
I'm hungry, so I'm gonna call it a night. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll be on tomorrow night. Not really sure what I'll be doing. Maybe some RTS League games or something. But I do appreciate all of those of you who did watch and tuned in for the games and such. So thanks for that, and I will see you guys later. So good night to you all, and coming up in the future we'll have some more AOM 1v1 summer tournament recs to go over, obviously RTS League, maybe me playing some games. You know, too much to do, not enough time. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you guys some other time. See ya.